I used to think love was the ultimate score. Then I did the math and walked out the door. Diamond rings, joint accounts, endless debate. On my right hand, never asked for a date. It's cheaper to jerk it than get yourself hitched. No alimony, no who left the light on, bitch. No shared calendar, no we need to talk. Just me, a sock, and a late night walk. Marriage comes with lawyers and emotional debt. I come with lotion and zero regret. You get the house, the dog, half my soul. I get 2 minutes of pure self-control. It's cheaper to jerk it than get yourself hitched. No mother-in-law text, no fix this glitch. No anniversary pressure, no performance review. Just me and the boys doing what we do. Some men buy boats, some men buy rings. I buy tissues and a couple of things. You can keep the white picket and the lifelong fight. I'll keep the free entertainment every night. It's cheaper to jerk it than get yourself hitched. No child support when the party switched. Raise a sticky toast to the single life. Marriage costs everything. This costs nothing but time.
Yeah, it was a last minute creation, you guys. It was a last minute spunk thought, if you think about it. Welcome. Why am I here? I got no fucking idea, but it's Tuesday night. I thought might as well go live on this channel. I need to keep them hours up, keep them people watching, so I can keep making no money over here. But I don't want to lose the monetization. You know what I'm saying, right? This account has been monetized since 2009. All right, I'm rolling 17 years on this bitch, and I don't want to lose it. I'm going to be fair. I'm going to be real, okay? Like, but still, I can actually. I feel like it can be free. Like the other night over on last week, I should say, on $3 Theater, we're talking. Yeah, I did like Marge Simpson sexy stream, whatever the fuck. Right? It's just looking for something to talk about, and it got age restricted. I don't know why. I don't quite know why. The stuff that Saggy and Chris were talking about was nothing that's, I don't know, like it's never been done before. But that being said, I was like, fuck it. Well, this if I get demonetized over here or age restricted over here, the hours still count. So you know what I mean? I'm not too worried about a lot of the other stuff. I don't make any money on the live streams anyway, outside of the glorious donation of my fantastic supporters. The few of you that are here, I always appreciate you guys. Sorry for the delay tonight as well. I realized I had to buy my plane tickets to go back to San Diego next month for a wedding, and I needed to get those plane tickets before they went up in price. Thankfully, even though the cost of everything has shot up, I found some good prices actually for some good shit. So let me check in with the Chizzy. Let me see what's going on with the Chizzy. All right, let me see what's happening with the chat. It's most Jesus Christ, CJH. Greetings, don't shoot. I'm waving my white flag. I don't know why would you. Where the fuck have you even been? That's my question. I mean, no one's really streaming much anymore in the movie side, so I have no idea where you've been. But I thought, if anything, I figured you were like balls deep in the Canadian, the Adirondacks or whatever the fuck you guys got over there, and you're just writing angry letters to the government, but you're just doing it voice to text. That's all. That's kind of where I figured you were at. Hope all is well. Also says here, I like to make thumbnails, like to edit videos, but my God, YouTube is a commitment that's extremely difficult. My channel's been dead for 5 years, and I refuse to get up on it. Yeah, man, welcome to this channel. This channel's been dead for 8, homie. Where you been, man? This channel's been dead for 8. It's been dead for so fucking long. What is TMJS? Dude, where the fuck are you? The Matt Jarbo Show. That I did change the title. I did change everything. Yeah, no, I was running. Like I said, I had to go buy a plane ticket. I have to go home. I have to go back to San Diego. I was like debating it. Thankfully, friends are coming through and hooking me up with a place to stay and a vehicle to drive. So all I'm gonna have to worry about is gas in Southern California and having to drive a long distance for my friend's wedding. But that's okay. I get to see him. I'm happy about that. Jarbo's escaping USA. No, I'm actually going south to the USA. No. No. I have to still buy tickets for the vacation over Christmas. That's the next step. The wedding is first step. The next thing is the next step. Quick question though. Can anyone hear the sound of a fan in the background? I'm curious about that. It's warm still. Even though it's 60 degrees outside in where I live, it's still very warm in my house. So if you guys hear a fan going, please let me know. Jarbo sponsored by Lotions by Midnight or something. No, but I do want to put jerking it is cheaper than marriage on a t-shirt and sell that, right? You see here. Anyway, okay, let me schedule. All right, let's see. Hold on, because Carney declared war on you. Oh my God, no, what? What are you doing? I know you guys are you wacky Canadians. You guys are having you're having your situation. Whatever's happening with your situation on that one there. Okay, you can't hear it. Cool. The thing is I can hear it in the background of my, it's so weird. This audio mixer that I've got, I can hear the sound of the fan, but you guys don't hear the sound of the fan, which is really interesting how the technology is kind of muting all of that out. But I do want to say, if I didn't stream last night, but I did watch a couple movies. I just kind of wanted to relax for a minute. So I watched my copy of Soldier in 4K. I bought it. Hadn't seen the movie since the theaters in 1998 when the movie came out. It's an interesting one, right? It's a very simple movie. It's basically Frankenstein. Like, what if Kurt Russell was Frankenstein, but also a soldier, and he was eyeballing Connie Nielsen's tits like the entire movie? And you're like, but then again, Connie Nielsen in 1997 was like 36 years or 33 years old, really. So like, they were some prime Connie Nielsen boobies at that point in time. And, you don't see them if you want to see Connie Nielsen boobs at that same time. The Devil's Advocate came out the year before. So you'd be able to see full on Connie Nielsen at that point in time. But I mean, for then, it's pretty good. And this is also prior to Gladiator and shit. So I watched that and I had fun with it. I had a lot of fun with it. It's one of those ones where I was realizing after like I bought it, I'm like, I got to stop buying these 4Ks if I don't plan on watching them again for a while. And I say that as I was plotting my journey to Barnes and Noble to get a copy of Red Sonja on 4K before their 50% off sale ends here at the end of the month. Now, I will say, I like Red Sonja a lot. I've seen that movie a bunch of times. So that's one I would definitely pop in. But I want to get like Conan the Barbarian, Conan the Destroyer. I've never seen either of those movies. And then I know Red Sonja is not inherently tied to that, although it is tied to that. You know what I mean? Right? Not canonically. Okay, right. It's not like Arnold is playing Conan in Red Sonja, but he might as well be. All right, he might as fucking well be. And then I also watched Guns Akimbo, which is one I hadn't seen. That was on Amazon. I actually went on Amazon because I was thinking about the movie No Escape, and they've got No Escape, and I was like, oh, I kind of want to watch No Escape. And then I'm thumbing through Amazon real quick, and I see Guns Akimbo leaving in a few days, and I was like, I've always wanted to watch that one too. Super fucking based. Oh man, Guns Akimbo was a lot of fun. Really enjoyed it. So anyway, Connie's in Soldier. Yep. I was watching it and I'm like, is that Connie Nielsen? Because it like she's so younger in that movie. Doesn't always look like her and shit. Anyway, so yeah, hold up here. Garrick, man, where have you been? You haven't even been over on the other channel and shit, but I throw one up over here and you pop over, man. I hope things are well. For Fiverr, kicking off the night here. Why has Disney slowed down on live action Star Wars shows? Ahsoka season 2 is the only show on the docket. Hey, Chris, I see you in the back. Hold on, let me just answer this. I'll bring you on. So Disney has slowed down, I believe, due to the response to the Acolyte. I think the Acolyte really, really, really hurt Disney. I think it really hurt the Star Wars brand. I also feel that The Mandalorian and Grogu, the movie, failed to kind of like knock anyone's socks off, because the movie was kind of rushed into development and rushed through development in order to get on the screen. And I think as a result of that, they're going to basically start scaling back on the TV shows over at Disney Plus. So we're only going to get like so many. And animation, I think, is just cheaper than doing the live action stuff. And I think the animation's actually doing a lot better over there than the live action stuff, which kind of backs up my whole thing about what DC should do, considering what's going on over there. But, hey, it is what it is. All right, joining the party is Chris, the bipolar Jedi. Chris, what's going on, man?
That was weird. I was waiting and it said the countdown stopped and then you threw up another 10 minutes, so
yeah, that was a last
yeah, so I waited and I'm like, why the fuck ain't he live yet? And it's like 20 minutes goes by and I refresh and you're live. And I'm like, what the fuck just happened? But we don't.
Yeah, well, it was what happened was I said this before you got in, is like I realized like last minute I needed to book plane tickets. And I was like, I'm going to San Diego next month. So
I thought you were going on a cruise.
I am going on a cruise in December, but I'm going to
We're
San
all
Diego
so sick of your shit, Jarbo.
Next month, so I can go and see my friends get married.
Oh, okay. Well,
and then I was debating on it. Cause like, can I afford it? Can I, whatever. And then, cause I'm basically missing like my work week, which is not good. So I'm going to try to like pick up as many shifts as I can before I go to kind of cover the spread on that. I'm going to need to make up like 3 days, which is going to suck, but I can do it. And, but they were like, look, they're like, we can toss you a car to use while you're here. And another friend's let me crash in their spare bedroom. So it's like, all right, cool. I've got.
You can always make a little extra cash on the side,
Well, I mean, I got quick wrists. You know what I'm saying? And there's a bunch of lonely sailors in town.
I meant like.
Oh, you mean? Oh, yeah. No. Wow. Yeah. Wow. No. Not like I'm talking about the putting the labor in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that is putting labor in, man. I mean, look, I'll sell my body. I don't care. And Taylor, sex work, real work, right? Sex work,
yeah.
Real work.
Well, Taylor, I'm coming down on because I've known Taylor for fucking years. He's in San Diego. I'm coming down on the 30th. The wedding's the 1st, and then I'm there until the afternoon of the 2nd. So, yeah. So if I don't know what's going on. I haven't announced that I'm coming back yet on Facebook. So I don't know what I'm doing, but I'll definitely have to try to see if I have time, man. I definitely want to, but I'll mostly be out in East County. I know you're down there in the nicer parts, but I'll be out there.
What does that mean? You haven't announced that you're coming back on Facebook?
I just bought I haven't announced to my friends. I know Taylor personally. I've known Taylor for years, in person, IRL. Been friends for years in San Diego. So I haven't put it on Facebook. Hey guys, I'm coming back for the first time in 7 years. Does anybody want to get together, or does anybody want to we can't go to the drive-in anymore because the drive-in's no longer there. But there's other places.
I remember youth when we used to jet set. I met, we'd bounce all over state to state, road trip all the time. The older you get, the less you travel. Then you live that whole year for like a one vacation. Like life's really like that. Like that dude said on Masters of the Universe, why can't you just be normal, live for the weekend, and count the days to your next vacation? And that when you get older, it really becomes that. It does. So even a place as close as San Diego, you're on the West Coast, you would think, well, it's not that far. Ask me the last time I was in Chicago, in my hometown.
Well, yeah, no, it's like that. I mean, it's kind of like, because I work, how many hours I work, right? My hours are long. Like this last weekend was actually kind of better because I trained a new guy, and the way when I train, the benefit for training is that I get paid an extra $100 per shift, which actually isn't bad, at all. It's pretty good to sit there, because my job is to sit there.
That's an extra $400 or $500 at the end of the week. Yeah,
no, it's like 300. I only did 3 days with the guy.
Oh, you only get 3 days.
Okay. Well, I mean, it would have only been 2, but the new guy wanted an extra day, and like it's so this week was kind of crazy because I had to go in for this 2-hour trainer meeting, right, where we went over everything that they wanted from us, and then and that still didn't cover everything, and then I started training this guy, and then I had to go in the next day for what's known as a safety meeting, because remember I told you I got sideswiped by that Lexus?
Yeah.
Right. So I had to go in and review the footage, which, by the way, he hit me. Okay. But then my
out of the
boss
car and started screaming whiplash, all sorts of shit.
No. He was actually a nice guy. And then my work was basically like, well, they were like, well, you weren't distracted. But like you didn't have both hands on the wheel. Because I drive like a Californian. I got one hand on the wheel and one hand on the armrest.
I don't know anybody who drives with both hands on the steering wheel unless they're going super fast.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, like, and I find, okay, fine, I get it, and it's like they have to kind of say something for insurance,
Technically, it's the law, it's the rules.
Yeah, and the weird thing is they were like, why were you in the middle lane? Because I was in the middle lane of the freeway when the guy sideswiped me because he was merging into the lane. And he was caught in my blind spot, like the divider between like the door and the windshield.
Yeah, right there. That's that one spot that always gets you too, especially in these newer trucks.
For apparently like 6 fucking seconds, he was there. I had no idea because I didn't see him.
I got that big mirror. I got those 2 big mirrors on the side of the truck.
But it still did not. But he still went into my lane and hit me. So it's not like they can do that, but they have to, for insurance purposes, go through the process and everything else. And what was really funny about that was we go to the safety meeting and we go through the whole process of it. And then they're like, okay, well, it's all good. All right, now go. The new guy's here. Go train him.
Well, I mean, you got an extra 300 bones out of it. That's not bad,
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I could tell you were frustrated when we were talking the other night, though. You were like, yeah, I don't know.
Well, I don't want to disparage this guy because he's new and it's a patience issue. You know what I mean? Like a lot of it is training is very much a patience issue, and like this guy, he'll be fine, but like there were certain elements of like part of the job that were like he just was really resistant to. And I'm like, and I don't want to go into specifics, but it was just one of those things where I'm like, but this is the job.
Yeah, no, right? I get it. I mean, these are the rules, bro. You can do this, this, and this, and you can't do this, this, and this. And if you're going to be resistant, you can't work here. It's that simple.
It was basically just like in a situation where you're delayed, just contact the next passenger and let them know you're delayed. That's it. Right. And he was resistant to contacting the passenger and letting them know that there was going to be a delay. And I'm like, because he was like, well, shouldn't it be somebody else? And I'm all like, well, no, you're like, you're driving, you're going to pick them up. Like we are taking people to and from where they need to go. So if they're on a timetable, we need to let them know that there's going to be a delay. Right. And a lot of the times it's out of your control. This was like Friday night. Saturday night. This is, Seattle traffic. And I was just like, I was more taken aback by the idea of like the resistance to it. And I'm like, man, like what?
I've had the mission. I have a ton of patience, man, but we had a guy at the shop like that, he comes in and this is back when I owned 25% of it. You know what I mean? So I got all my money invested in the shop, you know what I mean? And this dude is like setting his RPMs wrong. He's putting his gauges too deep, which makes, if your gauges are too deep, not only does it cause the customer pain, but you leave scars. If your needles go too deep, it leaves scars. He was using the wrong gauges. You know what I mean? Yeah. He tried to put a 3.5 flat. I know you guys don't know what I'm talking about, but it's like, it's how you shade. It's like 3 needles on top of 5 needles, but condensed together. Anyway, I would tell him, no, you got to do it this way. And your RPMs are set too high. You're going to rip somebody open. These are different machines. Well, it's not how I've always done it. That's because you've always done it in prison, okay? With a broken down Walkman and a fucking guitar string. And I finally lost my temper and I said, either listen to me or get the fuck out. Like, it was that simple.
Yeah, well, because I mean that is obviously you're dealing with people, like permanent scarring on someone's body.
There's no eraser in my profession. Yeah. You know what I mean?
It's so I totally get that. This guy, thankfully, like at the end of the night, he kind of went like, okay. He seemed like once we kind of got past that, because I think what it was is there was like a lot of stress build up too. Right. So like you're training, you're 4 days in, because keep in mind, like we do the full like 12 hours.
Well, people think you just drive around too. No, there's mental fatigue because you're on the road all the fucking time. You get white line fever, yellow line fucking spotty. Dude. Like, bro, and then you're in traffic. I couldn't do your job, Maddie, because I'd freak the fuck out. You'd
No,
see
I
him.
don't get a lot
You'd
of.
see me on a World Star video, bro. No joke.
No. Check this out. On Sunday night, right? Like,
Because I got
again,
road rage, man.
I keep trying to explain to this guy. I said, look, everything changes on a dime. You never know where your night's going to go, right? What you think you're doing is not what you're actually going to end up doing. That's just the nature of the beast. And I, so on Sunday, I was going to have a couple private vans, and I was like, oh, fuck yeah, private vans pay out a lot more money. Usually, like, the tips are really good, And so, like, the other night, we had a private van where the credit card tip was like $73, and then we dropped them off, and they gave us an additional 40 in cash. So we split it, but that's still, man, fuck yeah, right? And so, like, on Sunday, I had two PVs back to back. My first private van was fucking delayed by like 40 minutes, which completely threw me off for my last one, right? And so I was like, God damn it. So I ended up missing out on the second one, took those people up to their place, which is about maybe an hour north of the city. And then that was about like 10:30. My next pickup wasn't until 2:45 in the morning.
Ugh.
And it was in the middle, dude. It was in the middle of the Snoqualmie forest, like on the top of a fucking mountain, dude. Like, I literally drove out there. Well, first off, I went to a parking lot and I got myself I went to a Safeway, got myself some snacks, and then I'm like, well, I got time to kill. So I just fired up the tablet and I watched Lanterns.
What kind of snacks, you big fatty?
Hey, fuck you. I get like peanuts, and I get
that's right. Yeah, you do.
If the jerky is not too overtly expensive and whatnot, I know. Well, no. I will admit that night I got reduced fat wheat thins. Okay, don't fucking judge me.
Reduced fat. Right? Don't judge me. I'm eating wheat thins.
I like wheat thins. Anyway,
no, I don't mind wheat thins. They're pretty good.
Well, I ended up just watching Lanterns, and then I'm like, all right, well, I'll drive out to
I tried, man. I'm sorry, but go ahead.
I like Lanterns. I think it's good. I think
if you truly subvert expectations, and you're like me, I'm always down for somebody to tell a different side of their story or a different vision, a different, see it through a different lens. I'm okay with that, but for other people, not for me. There is certain things you have to put in these shows and these movies when these characters have been around so long. They do have some amount of expectation from the audience. You can't just completely change the entire fucking character.
Anything.
Get the fuck out of here, bro.
What are you talking about? Fuck. Okay, listen. Is there the trope about the old grizzled vet?
It's old man Luke. That's what it is.
Well, it's also old man Indy. It's also old man Indy from Dial of Destiny, right? But they gave him a redemption. I think they looked at The Last Jedi and they went like, we don't want to do that for Indiana Jones. We want to. Here's why I'm
saying I'm not going to give up on the show. There's 8 episodes. I may end up liking it. Let's see where it goes. Okay, but I also. The conservative's going to come out of me for a second, guys, and if you get mad, that's fine.
Fuck.
Okay,
but fuck,
I'm a little sick of the kill Whitey shit. Okay, I'm sick of it, bro. Shit. Whatever. The girl was like, white privilege. I'm like, oh my god, why'd they put that in here, man? I didn't care that he was fucking her. Everyone's like, oh, he's fucking a grandma. No, she's hot. Bang that shit. Do your thing, John. And I love Jon Stewart, by the way. I like Jon Stewart more than I like Hal Jordan. But
yeah, but you realize the whole point of that conversation was maybe about later it'll be that control,
right? Maybe later on in later episodes, it won't trigger me, But for some reason, and it wasn't even that long. It was like an 8-second scene, but for some reason, I was like, why did they jam that in there? Why was it necessary?
Because it's the whole idea is about control, man. I don't want to spoil it, but that's a very important line of dialogue that I don't think is necessarily a red herring.
I'm keeping I don't think it's rage bait. I'm keeping my mind open. It just made me go, man, I'm not liking what they're doing with Hal Jordan. I don't like Jon Stewart sitting there not in agreement with this girl when she's bashing white people, making it a race issue. Hopefully later on it flourishes. There's a reason they did it. There's a reason she said it. Hopefully,
she says it for a reason, but it's not to do with race. It's more to do, let's say, with species. Okay, or if it's race, it's like an alien race. All right, it isn't white v black. In like the Watchmen sense.
That's the thing, artist. Though that a lot of people thought I was going to hate that show, and I really liked it. I really liked his version of Watchmen. Lindelof's. I liked it. You know, it was a little. I thought it was cool.
Some people got real mad. They're just like, "Oh, he's gonna fuck up," and like, "He really fucked up that show." And I'm like, I don't think he did. I think he told an interesting story. I will admit I need to finish it. I never finished it. Actually, I thought I had, but I hadn't. I want to watch it again. But real quick though, I want to get to this one here. Garrick for 5. Thank you, buddy. So what's your take on the GTA leaks? Do you think the leaker will get caught? So I've actually, like, for one, I've seen like one video of like the leak, and I find it to be funny at how crazy people on social media are acting in regards to this, that they're just like, oh my god, it's like the leak is like the worst thing that could ever happen to Rockstar. Like, no, the fuck,
not really.
no,
that game's still gonna make a
there's
gazillion dollars.
you could have the main character, right? Lucia, come on out and do a rendition of Kill 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 the White Man, right? And it would still sell 100 million copies. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter. Like, there's something to be said about like the lack of monoculture nowadays, like the Lanterns, for example, is an example of monoculture. Okay, appointment viewing television. So that's one of the reasons why it's got the views that it does. It's like Sunday night, 9 o'clock HBO, coming in right off of Game of Thrones, right? Like the Sunday night, 9 o'clock time slot, or 6 p.m. on the West Coast, whatever. That's what's known as appointment viewing on television. We don't have that anymore. Remember, like, fucking TGIF, dude, fucking must see.
Oh yeah, Thursday night must see TV. Yeah, man.
We knew Thursday night, 9 o'clock. What were you watching on NBC?
You were gonna get like Seinfeld, Friends, all of it, the big ones, the big ones.
Friday night, what were you gonna get? Fucking Family Matters, fucking Step by Step,
Boy Meets World,
Boy Meets World, right? Those were all,
Full House. Yeah, you were getting all the big ones. Yeah,
that was appointment viewing television. We knew exactly where all that was. Nowadays, everything is fragmented. Everything. There's no monoculture. We might all rush out to go see the new Spider-Man movie, right? Or Odyssey or fucking Toy Story or whatever. And like, but because those are like big names attached to it or big IPs or whatever. But it's finding something new that everyone is going to want to talk about. It becomes harder and harder and harder. A couple things break through every year, obviously, but really it becomes harder and harder and harder. And Grand Theft Auto is like the mother of all gaming monoculture.
It's going to be, I think it's going to be the biggest release of all time and maybe the biggest game of all time.
Yeah, until the next one.
You know what I mean?
Like,
why? It's because they found a way to the story in GTA 5 is pretty cool. Okay, it is. But what made it is they finally went like full crazy and gave us GTA Online. And you can do anything in that game. You can do anything. And they constantly add shit. When they add it, it's free. They constantly update it. And I think that if they do that with this one, and then I'm hearing rumors about how you're going to have like on D&D, if you do too much bad shit, your alignment changes. You can go from chaotic good to like neutral good. And then like the more bad shit, they're going to have that like a moral rating thing. And I guess it's going to go up to 6 stars. Who knows what's real and what's not? Will that guy get caught? I don't know, man. Those motherfuckers. I don't know about Anonymous, but what was that other group that was fucking with Call of Duty forever, shutting it down every weekend?
Lizard Squad.
Lizard Squad.
Like, they fucked up.
They never got caught. They never got caught. Did they?
No, that's not true. Some of those guys did. No, from the PlayStation shutdown in 2011, from the PlayStation Network shutdown. Do you remember that at all?
Yeah.
Or like lockdown.
Part of it.
You know what I mean? Wait, you were part of Lizard Squad?
No, I was part of the motherfuckers getting mad that my PlayStation didn't work.
Yeah. You know what I did during that month? I just turned on my Xbox and was
I had the Xbox too, but then they started fucking with certain games, not just consoles.
Well, yeah, no, they've been a dick. Don't get me wrong, but it's the thing with right now you could leak the whole fucking game and it would be fine. Right. Go back to 2011, for example.
I think Netflix is mad because they were supposed to get that exclusive.
No, no. Netflix is going to love that shit. Are you kidding me? All that's going to do is funnel more people into Netflix. Are you kidding me?
To watch the trailer?
No, it's not just a trailer, dude. It's a full on reveal. Oh. It is like at least a half hour, if not longer, of the breakdown of not only like the world of GTA 6, the characters, the gameplay, potential multiplayer. I don't know if they're gonna go that far.
Oh, so these two little links don't mean shit then. Well, I know this dude's threatening to release the whole thing, but I don't even think he has the whole thing.
No, because here's the thing: if you release the whole thing, it doesn't matter, right? None of it matters. If you could leak the whole thing out right now,
people are still gonna buy it.
and
Yeah,
people would
and they're still gonna go
buy it.
watch that trailer. That
They
thing's
would-
gonna get like 10 million clicks in a half an hour, dude.
Well,
Like,
because
no,
the way that it works, yeah, is that it's gonna. Well, because here's the thing: so it's gonna be on Netflix exclusively for 6 hours, and then it's going to be uploaded to the Rockstar YouTube channel. But how many people are going to bootleg it from Netflix and flood YouTube with it before it goes to Rockstar?
everybody.
And then what's going to
Yeah.
happen is that shit's going to get dissected, it's going to get talked about, and then it's going to end up going out in 4K high definition on Rockstar's channel.
People are
and
gonna make trilogy live stream
they're gonna
podcasts about
yeah.
it.
Some people are probably going to be live streaming the reveal event for, and then that's going to get taken down with the DMCA claim, right? So that's why they're waiting the 6 hours. You know that right?
Makes me think of something I wanted to talk to you about, because what you're talking about right now, we do live in there's this line, and I don't know if you guys have ever seen the movie Master and Commander: The Far Side of the World.
No,
it's a great movie with damn it, Russell Crowe. Yeah. And it's a great movie. And there's a line in there where he sees that the bottom of a ship's been built different to make it go a little bit faster, right? And he says, what a fascinating modern age we live in, right? And I always remember that line, because now I look at where we live and what but certain things, man, I wouldn't trade the fact that something like the new Batman movie or what Spider-Man is doing right now, or GTA 6 is coming out, can be a campfire for whoever. It could be grifters, it could be bad actors, it could be good actors, it could be people like us that are just excited for the game, but everyone's going to talk about it. I love that, don't get me wrong, but man, I miss the old days. Remember midnight album releases, Maddie?
Oh yeah, no, actual
like I miss, but I also wouldn't trade what we have now either, like,
well, I mean, that's the problem with what we have right now. It like everyone can access everything all at once, which is great for accessibility, but it does in some ways delineate hype. It's like I said, look at the K-pop Demon Hunters. K-pop Demon Hunters would have not been as successful as it was had it gone to
exactly.
Theaters.
You're exactly right.
Bands
like Seven Dust, who have been around for like 20 some years, who have always been good and been on this, they've been on festival circuits, but they've always been criminally underrated. And then this year somehow they went viral, and now they're blowing up again. They're blowing the fuck up,
Yeah.
And that's because of the internet. So yeah, I'm going to have to accept the fact that I'm 52 now, and some of the things I love are going to get murdered by the modern era. That's all there is to it. I watched it happen with grunge. Grunge killed my music I grew up on. The only thing is I liked grunge too, but I was thinking that today, that like, man, they say everything old is new again, and that's cool. One of my favorite things to do is to watch these younger people who've never heard of the Eagles or Led Zeppelin or Pearl Jam.
Man, fuck the Eagles.
Or, well, whoever you like.
Oh no, it's a quote.
Oh.
Fuck the Eagles, man.
But watching them react to the music I grew up on and loving it, and everyone always says the same thing. Holy shit, the 80s were amazing. All these young kids are like, I was born in the wrong decade, man. I was born in the wrong time. I was born in the wrong generation. I want to go back to the 80s. 80s and 90s were the two best decades. I always tell you that, Maddie. We were lucky. We got to be part of the two greatest decades of all time.
Yeah.
Unless we go back to the greaser days and be like drag.
Well, I agree. Because like like I said, I was watching if I'm going to jump on Tubi, I like to look up 1980s horror, because I feel like it's this weird time of just kind of.
Well, it's when it exploded and VHSs had become a big thing. Straight to video had become not straight to DVD, guys, straight to video. You know what I mean? And you wouldn't go to the theater to see a movie like Basket Case. That shit was never released in theaters, but it's a cult classic. It's a huge fucking massive. Everyone loves it. I think it sucks, but people love that shit, And you like, what's is it Jackson or is it Guillermo that did Dead Alive? Is that what it's called?
Dead Alive was Jackson.
I tried so hard to rent that when I was a kid, because I used to love horror when I was a kid. I just grew out of it. Now I only watch it in October. You guys know that, but I wanted to rent it so bad. And my parents would look at the back, the cover art on the back, and they'd go, nope, because it had that girl's head all smashed into the cement. I remember it vividly, and I tried forever to get my parents to rent that movie for me, and they would never let me have it. My mom would be like, why don't you watch one of the nicer murder movies? Why don't you watch the guy with the hockey mask? God bless my mom, but for real, man, she's amazing. She would be like, why don't you watch the nice serial killers? Why don't you watch one of those Freddy things? We don't want to rent that one for you. Because and now to this day, I've never seen that movie, and now I have absolutely no inkling of wanting to watch that, because I know what it is now. I don't want to watch that gross shit, Jackson,
it just
Cronenberg.
depends,
I won't watch Cronenberg.
Well, Cronenberg, you got to kind of get me on the right, because I think, didn't Cronenberg do Existence?
Well, Existence was different. That was pretty dope though, but it still had body horror in it. And the weird part with wasn't there like a gun made out of chicken bones in the soup?
Yeah.
Just weird shit.
But
man.
see, that was one that I saw on video. I'd heard about it, because what I miss is like the early 2000s, maybe like late 90s, early 2000s, of reading about these upcoming films on like websites like Ain't It Cool News, or something along those lines. And then you'd find out about these littler films that were either touring around or were kind of doing their own thing. And then you would finally, get on in there, and you'd be able to, you'd finally watch it and go, wow, that was really, really, really cool to see. Right. Like I was really happy about seeing that. But nowadays it feels like, again, it's these littler films, they just kind of come and go, and then
they get buried under the algorithm, which is weird to say, that movies get buried under algorithms, even on Netflix or on Amazon or on any, they get buried under their algorithm too. And you got to go search for these movies. It's weird to say that now, but back then, fuck, it was like 100 times harder. You'd have to hear it from a friend who heard it from a friend who heard it from a guy who heard it from another guy who said, man, have you ever seen Faces of Death? That shit's crazy. And you go, what the fuck is Faces of Death? You know what I mean? Because you had to hear it from somebody. Like you and me are, one of the things we have in common is that we rented Kids and we never gave it back. We just passed it around the neighborhood for an entire summer.
Well, I rented it from Hollywood Video, I think, or maybe I got it from the library, but I'd heard about how infamous it was by the time I got
word of mouth, right? Exactly. That's what I mean. Word of mouth. And that made you go get it and go, fuck, and it was Clerks and then Kids.
I still
that
remember,
made me an indie fan forever.
I still remember seeing Clerks for the first time, and how that was, what that was is I was at the library and I was asking the guy working there, like, hey, what did you guys get in that's new, or like, what do you recommend? And he's like, oh, have you heard of Clerks? And I was all like, no, I was 15, right? So this would have been 1997. So Clerks was already out for like a couple years, but like I was also only 15, so like the likelihood of me hearing about it at that age would have been minimal anyway. And then the guy was like, the guy goes like, oh no, this is the most rented movie of all time. And I'm like, oh no shit. And he's all like, yeah. He's like, this is the most rented movie of all time. So you should give it a watch. And I'm like, all right, And I remember,
really, is that true?
What?
At the
That's
time,
what he told me. That's what he told me. That's what he fucking told me when I rented. I have no idea if it's true or not. It doesn't matter. The guy comes out the gate and goes, here's this little black and white comedy, and this is the most rented movie of all time. I'm like,
maybe the most rented indie movie of all time, but I thought the most rented movie of all time ever was Scarface. At least that's what I heard.
No, well, not in like 1997. Scarface might have been
Scarface has like a 20-year jump on it, or at least a 15-year jump on it.
It has a jump on it in regards to like, when it was released, but the proliferation of VHS didn't necessarily hit until the early 90s. You know what I mean? Right? Like we had a solid 10 years of VHS dominance before, and even with DVDs inkling in, the adoption rate for that was so small.
To this day, Maddie, I don't know why I picked it up off the shelf. The cover art's not that great. I didn't know it was in black and white. I don't think I know a fucking thing about Kevin Smith.
It was all recommended to me.
I think someone was just like, grab it. And then I got home and it was black and white. And I'm like, well, fuck, man. I just wasted $5. And then you get about 5 minutes into it and you're like, oh, I'm going to love this motherfucking movie.
Well, because it speaks to the Gen Xers,
But not only that, it's so character driven. You know
Oh
what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah. I mean, like what got me is I was watching it, and it's just still it's like would you like some making fuck
Yeah, he just say
berserker?
making fuck.
Yeah, it's like it's great. It was like because that was one of those things where like so I saw that movie, I saw Clerks, and
And the
I
moment you see Jay and Silent Bob, you're hooked on him forever, you know?
oh
So
yeah, yeah, it's great. You're laughing, you're loving the whole goddamn thing. Randall, Dante, everyone, the craziness of it. But see, but then for me, what solidified it even more, and maybe this just happened to be the time, is I was at Hollywood Video, I don't know, maybe like 2, 3 weeks later, somewhere in there, and I'm walking by the new releases, and I look over and I see Jay and Silent Bob on the cover of another movie, and I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm like,
Mallrats?
yeah,
Yeah, Mallrats, right?
Mallrats had come out, hit home video, and that movie famously bombed, and I didn't know that, so I went. I'm like, oh fuck, dude, Jay and
And
Silent
now
Bob
it's a
are in the movie.
fucking cult darling classic that
I
everybody
will
loves.
argue, I've seen Mallrats probably the most out of any of Kevin Smith's movies
Oh,
because
really?
um,
It would be Dogma.
Dogma's up there.
Yeah.
Dogma's up there. But see, what with Dogma, it was in June of 1999. I happened to be perusing IGN from the school computer. That's how old IGN is. If you're just thinking about that for a second,
Jesus, is it really that old?
it's that long ago, right? And they had mentioned that the script for Dogma had leaked online, and they linked it over to this website called script-o-rama.com. Still around, by the way. And I went on there and I read it, and it was the shooting script for Dogma. And I'm laughing my fucking ass off at this fucking screenplay. I'm just sitting in the school
I never
library.
did that. Like looked at scripts
No,
or
I never want
spoilers or dirt sheets. I've never done it before, you know?
For me, it was like, dude, this is a new Kevin Smith movie. It's coming. Holy shit, right?
That's what
Because
made me I watched Clerks so many times I couldn't wait for some new Kevin Smith. And then Mallrats came out, we rented it and we loved it. And then there was these rumblings of there's a rumor that there's a movie coming out that might get Kevin in a lot of trouble.
well, because you got to remember though, but in between doing Mallrats and doing Dogma, he did Chasing Amy.
Was
right?
Chasing Amy before Dogma?
Chasing Amy was before Dogma.
It was before Dogma, and that's where he got the critical acclaim. That's probably what emboldened him to do Dogma. Now that I think about it,
I believe. No, that's what got. That's
I
what
loved Chasing Amy as well.
Yeah. So Chasing Amy was 1997. And
Dogma was 2001, 2002.
No, Dogma was November 1999, dude.
Was it 99?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. It was November 1999. I remember.
You're right, because Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back came after that.
Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back came out like late July or early August.
Yeah.
2001.
Yeah. So it was Dogma. Yeah.
Well, here, check this out. So the budget of Chasing Amy was only $250,000. Right.
Well, he did call in a favor for that one.
Well, but check this out though, but it made 12 million. So, like that was actually a really good return on investment. What was Mallrats? Mallrats' budget was, I want to say 7 million or something.
Well, it actually went to theaters, that one did. And
Yeah. Sorry. So Mallrats had a budget of 6 million to 6.1 million. Some sources estimating up to 8 million, and it grossed only 2.1 million at the domestic box office.
I just don't think people are ready for that kind of humor yet. On the cinema. I don't think they were. But I'll people get mad at me when I say this, but I will say it till I'm blue in the face. If it weren't for movies like Mallrats, we wouldn't have movies like American Pie. We wouldn't have the Can't Hardly Waits, the American Pies. We wouldn't have those if it weren't for Kevin putting that kind of comedy out there. Because we grew up on the Animal House days and the National Lampoon's Vacations and the Mel Brooks stuff. Which was very. I mean, dude, you couldn't do a Mel Brooks movie now. I cannot wait to see what he does with the new Spaceballs, because back then, shit like Blazing Saddles. And
well, you got to remember with the new Spaceballs, he's not writing it or directing it, right? Do we like Jersey Girl? I like Jersey Girl.
I enjoyed it.
It made my mom. I took my mom to go see it, because it came out on my birthday in 2005, and I took my mom to go see it. and she cried like twice in the movie. I thought it was okay. I will say this: Jersey Girl and Chasing Amy are the two Kevin Smith movies of his earlier work that I've only seen one time, and I've never really felt the need to go back.
Chasing Amy, really?
Yeah. Because I think what it was, you gotta understand, Chasing
Amy's so fucking good, man.
You know, I'm not saying that it's bad. I'm saying that it's like its sensibilities were not what I, as a 15-year-old, were wanting.
Okay, no, you're right. But now watch it as an adult, bro.
Yeah, it's a little bit different as an adult.
I'll watch it through different eyes now, Maddie. You'll fucking love it. It's deep.
No, I'm
it's
sure.
a deep fucking movie, bro.
I'm sure the line. I love the line. What's a Nubian? It's still fucking hilarious. 30 years later.
Oh man, he's like, what are you talking about? I almost pissed myself laughing when you get Black Rage, motherfucker.
Oh yeah,
Black Rage, motherfucker.
Hold on. Here we got one from Garrick for 5. Thank you, buddy. What did you think of Run, Hide, Fight Infidels trailer? Is Jonathan Majors back? No, God, no.
Wait. There's a sequel to Run, Hide, Fight.
Oh, you don't know about that one?
I actually enjoyed Run, Hide, Fight, the original.
Well. Okay, here's the thing.
I didn't like the studio that put it out, but I did like the movie.
No, but Run, Hide, Fight was not made with Daily Wire initially, right? It was Daily Wire acquired it after.
Okay, that makes sense.
It was produced. I want to say that the guy who wrote it and directed it, like he produced it with DJ Caruso, who was like Michael Bay's like protege for a while. The guy that did like Eagle Eye and Disturbia and I Am Number 4. He was doing like,
okay, those are all good movies.
Those are good, but but his career kind of fell off after I think Eagle Eye. And so anyway, he didn't direct Run, Hide, Fight, but I want to say he produced it. But then anyway, here comes Daily Wire.
What was the middle one you said?
Disturbia.
Excellent movie. Yeah, okay.
Well, that's
a Shia LaBeouf movie, right?
Yeah. It is completely a Rear Window, not even a knockoff. It's a straight up.
No, it's a complete ripoff of Rear Window, but it's set for the modern era, which I like.
Yeah.
I like Shia in it.
I think it's a good movie.
I didn't know it was the same. It's the same guy though, huh?
Yeah.
And they just bought the movie.
DJ Caruso did not direct Run, Hide, Fight. I think he just produced it. The guy who, I don't remember the whole story about Run, Hide, Fight and how Daily Wire got it, but it was just like one of those acquisitions that happened because they needed a movie.
Infidels, Maddie?
Okay, so it's called Infidels because this isn't like a sequel to Run, Hide, Fight. It's like another movie, another story set maybe in that same universe. In this, fuck it, I'll just show you the trailer.
Oh, it just sounds like it's gonna piss off a lot of.
It's gonna piss off a lot of.
I'm just gonna say it. A lot of Muslims. It sounds like it's gonna piss off a lot of Muslims.
It's gonna piss off a lot of Muslims, a lot of lefties.
We might have like another Dallas cartoon thing on our hands, bro. Remember that shit?
No. I mean, like, here's the thing. Here's the thing with this. It will piss off a lot of people. What you have to remember, though, is almost nothing about this seems anything different from what you would have probably seen like back in the 80s and 90s, right? Like remember
typecasting, like, you mean stereotyping?
Like typecasting, or the idea of like radical extremist Islam extremists taking over and terrorizing, right? Like stuff like Operation Delta Force 3. Fuck Jesus Christ, dude, like Rambo Part 3, right? Like the Mujahideen or whatever the fuck it is, like the
Mujahideen.
Yeah,
the Mujahideen guy.
Yeah, whatever, man. I've never seen the movie.
You're the smart one, motherfucker. I'm the dumb one.
I still fuck with words. But it's kind of like, movies like that back in the day where you have like radical Islamic terrorists, and those radical Islamic terrorists are the ones that are out there. And they are, that was something that we saw back in the 80s and 90s, right? Especially,
we saw a lot of it. It was everywhere, Maddie. It was everywhere. It was typecast.
Okay,
gang members were all Latinos or black. Yeah, typecasting was a thing, and I do now recognize it. I do not recognize that it was very, very racist. Or at the very least, racially insensitive,
Yeah, it was. Okay, and then here, watch this.
Your country is beneath contempt.
We who love and serve Allah fought back against the Americans and the Zionists from the scourge of secularism and the lands of unbelief. God.
Anyone gonna listen to Captain meeting Saunders tomorrow? The retired Delta Force soldier with a new book out.
He's the polar opposite of those brain-dead protesters.
Given the current climate, should Clay Saunders even be allowed on campus?
Mr. Saunders is a close personal friend of Chancellor Friedman. This is a decision I cannot frown.
There are 3 ways Islam will conquer the West. Through immigration, through the wombs of our women.
Is that who I think it
by
is?
Using our nation's freedoms
Jonathan Majors?
against us.
That's Kang.
Yes.
Wow, how the mighty have fallen.
Are you paying attention?
Listen carefully. The great Satan America will fall. You are infidels. The bodies of women are not pure and the men's souls are unclean.
What makes them so dangerous? Their goals are not in this life, but the next.
Anyone?
I got friends here. I can't just leave.
Listen to me! Illallah. We cannot run or hide from what is coming. We have to fight.
I will be rewarded 10,000 times in the next life. When you die, you're nothing. Only one way to find out.
That's the American way.
So that's a movie.
I'm absolutely. I can't even. That's not the most offensive trailer I've ever seen. I won't say that, but I will say this: I'm kind of speechless. I don't really know what to say about that, because yes, there are people like that in the radical world, but you're portraying all of them like that. Not to mention the acting looks stiff as fuck. Are you hearing these lines? They were read horribly, bro.
Well, yeah, no, I don't disagree. It is see, okay, so this one, I agree with this one is Shapiro, like with Parallax. I think this is like Shapiro. So like Shapiro, because he's, you've got this growing movement of I don't want to call it anti-Semitism, but anti-Zionism.
No, it is. They can say they're calling it anti-Zionism, but it's absolutely fucking anti-Semitism. And I won't sugarcoat it. I will not sugarcoat it.
No, I won't sugarcoat it. No, fuck that. You cannot sit there and tell me that every person that's like, I don't like that Israel is bombing Gaza is a fucking anti-Semite.
No, I'm saying the people that harp on it over and over and over and over and over again and well, I think the shit that they don't understand. No, we will never understand what it's like to live in Israel. None of us. All I know is I've seen a lot of lies printed, and I've seen a lot of truths printed. And the truth is, we're never going to know what the truth is. I'm not saying everybody who has a problem with Zionists are anti-Semitic. I don't mean
hold
that.
Hold on. I don't care. Take religion out of the fucking equation. Okay.
I mean the actual Muslims.
I'm talking. Well, here's the thing. But here's the truth. But here's the truth. The average age of a person in Gaza is 19. Right. So think about that for a second. If the average age of a person in that part of the world is 19 years old, out of those 2 million people, less than that now, all right, is 19 years old. How many adults and elders have been fucking killed? How many people who would have been like fathers or mothers?
No,
or whatever,
I understand. I understand
what the people. These are the next generation.
I get it, but also, isn't it like under 80,000 people that have died? I don't mean over all time. I mean during this.
No, it's you're talking about like civilians, not just people. We're talking civilians. Men,
yeah, that women, whole thing over there is just so fucked up, bro.
But this is the issue: is when you talk about this situation. If any other fucking country was indiscriminately bombing their enemy, right, we would have issue with that shit. If they're targeting hospitals where there are children, that's a fucking war crime. But because Israel is doing it in retaliation for what happened on October 7th, of which we do know that the Israeli government had prior knowledge that Hamas was up to something, but they believed that they weren't able to actually pull off anything. And therefore, these things were this commenced. But did you also know that the Israeli fucking surveillance apparatus at one point was able to intercept cellular communication with a gay person in Gaza and got that person to fucking basically roll over and like give them intel because they threatened to out them, which would then result in their fucking death. Because they're gay, and that is not allowed in Islam. So it's like, what if you just fucking remove religion for a second, and just look at the societal power plays that are happening here, right? The powers that be
You
that are
can't
happening.
remove religion from it, Maddie.
You
That's what I'm
have to
saying.
remove religion. No,
If you could, if they could, they would. But that's what the whole war's about. It's about religion. It has been for 3,000 years.
I know. I'm saying, but when you discuss it, you have to try to remove religion, because because otherwise, what you do is you get into the whole like religion versus anti-religion thing.
Exactly.
Right?
And
they just, so if I criticize Israel, I'm going to be fucking labeled as an anti-Semite because I don't like the fact that they.
Oh, I know. Just
children.
like if I criticize Palestinians or in the Islamic nation, I'm gonna be called a Zionist or an Islamophobe, and that's not true. I love both of them. You know what I mean? I wish both of them can get their shit together, but it's never gonna happen.
Well, here's
now
the thing
bombing hospitals and shit like that. Yeah, that's fucked up. That is so fucked up. But also, they put their Israel should never launch. They should never launch, but they do, and they're always gonna, because they're gonna say, "You hit me, I hit you back." That's just how it's gonna be.
Yeah,
but a lot of these. What's the ones over there? What are they called? Is it Hamas?
Hamas, yeah. But see, here's the thing.
Hamas puts their bases in those civilian places on purpose.
They do, yes, they do. But you're telling me that you're telling me that the IDF, with as technologically how much prowess they've got, again, surveillance, how militarily advanced they are, just as an overall organization, all right, backed by United States, backed by Britain, backed by the Allies and whatever. You're telling me that at no point in time they could conduct some kind of surgical strike that would then eliminate everybody. Now I know
that's why they shouldn't launch. I don't think they should launch missiles.
But the whole thing with it is, though, is that they were like, well, we want to bomb them, so they released the hostages. Okay, because there were those hostages that were taken, and I think they're all out now after nearly 3 years. But the leaders of Hamas are in Qatar, right? And who fucking gave Trump a $400 million jet as a bribe? Oh, right, it was Qatar.
There's a jet that costs $400 million.
Dude, do you not fucking know about that?
No. Wait, is it? I'm thinking fighter jet. Is it a big like jet, like an Airbus jet?
Like Air fucking Force, the Trump's personal Air Force One. The Qatar government gave him.
Oh my god! I know I didn't know that.
And they're dude, they're gonna fucking. Okay, here's the thing, right? So
I know that since I was a kid, they've always been mad at us because we back Israel and we give Israel our tech, and Israel uses our tech to oppress them. I'm not blind to this. I know what's going on. So what I'm saying is, it's just fucked up.
It is fucked up.
I don't think anything can be done about it.
Well, the fucking Congress could, I don't know, do something or another, but they're all look, man, what you got to worry about here is you've got the fucking the Middle Eastern governments that are working with Jared Kushner right now, to work with Trump and to work with everything else. Okay, like Qatar and I think Saudi Arabia and whatever. Okay, they're doing their thing. And then you've also got the fact that you got the Jewish lobby, like AFPAC, right? And I think it's AFPAC, right? Or AIPAC, whatever. I think it's AFPAC is what it is, but it doesn't matter. They're funding a lot of people, and they lobby Congress like crazy. There's lots of donations on the right and the left. The funniest thing is you start talking about religion, you bring in the Christians, and the Christians, they believe, especially the evangelicals, they think you got to protect Israel, you got to support Israel, because in the prophecy, what's it say there? Oh, right. Israel is going to fall when the end times happen. So they want to protect Israel, so then at the right time, Jesus can return, smite the Israelis, and then the Christians can whatever the fuck. Right. But it's really funny to me that they're like,
not exactly, but you're close.
It's close enough. It's close enough. They're basically like, no.
I don't know any Christians that are like, yo, we can't wait for Jesus to come back and kill all these Jews. I don't know any Christians that think that way, but yeah, I understand.
Break it down. If you break it down,
secretly they might think that way.
No. Because here's the thing, right? Because there's a level of disconnect. Okay, it's the prophecy of like what's going to happen when Israel falls. Well, what do you think happens when Israel falls? Right, like when a country falls, there's a lot of death. Okay, and if the whole
there's also a power vacuum.
Yeah, so it's like it's going to be like is basically they're like no, we want to protect you until you're no longer useful for us, and then you all can die. Because they're not going to give a shit, right? This is the funniest thing when it comes to this kind of doctrine or religious rhetoric and belief, is that like everyone's fucking hypocritical. Christians are
everyone, bro.
Follow the 10 commandments. Thou shalt not steal. Love thy neighbor. Honor thy father. Blah.
And then you get people on here like Jeremy Hanley's like a new Christian all of a sudden, or you got the Millennium Acts of the world, and they'll get out there and preach these Bible verses, and then they'll be like, we're diehard Christians and real Christians are supposed to do this. And I'm like, no, real Christians aren't supposed to judge. The real Christians
Well,
are
my
supposed
favorite
to
thing-
let it
my-
go. Like you're not even a real Christian. You're sitting here telling all these other people they're not real Christians, and here you are doing the same thing. You know why? All religions are hypocritical. All of them.
Well, yeah,
Maddie.
but what cracks me up the most about that shit is just the whole notion of fucking Melanie Mack going out there and saying like, well, I'm a diehard Christian, but you're all a bunch of F slurs. Right. And she's like, I'm using a slur to hurl disgust at you. Right. Knowing that it's because remember the concept of swearing, of cursing. Right. What's the only sin that cannot be forgiven is blasphemy.
Blasphemy.
All right. But
or
also
suicide, which is a
No.
which is a type of blasphemy. So yeah.
Okay, fine. Yeah. I mean, that's the Catholic way of looking at it. Very, very cynical and nihilistic. And I love you for it. But
well, it
it's
is. I mean, you're denying the
No,
Holy
but don't you
Spirit,
think-
which is blasphemy. If you kill yourself, you've denied the Holy Spirit, which
Okay.
is
No, I
blasphemy.
agree. Okay, I get what you're saying there. Well, my whole point though is when
We'll
Melanie
make a
Mack
Catholic out of you yet, buddy.
full fucking shit. But when Melanie Mack says that about calls someone the F slur, she's saying it with hatred in her heart,
Exactly.
which is not Christian, which is not
Telling people they're going to
the
burn in
teachings of
hell
Christ,
is not Christian.
you know.
The only time you're really in the Catholic anyway, in the apocryphal, the only time you're able to even wish that on somebody is if they've harmed a child. That's it. That's the only time you're ever supposed to go, I hope you burn in hell, because God said, if anyone hurts a child, it's better he never been born at all. Those who hurt children, so that's the only time you're allowed to go, oh, you burn in hell, motherfucker. I mean, all that forgiveness shit, turn the other cheek shit, that Quaker Puritan shit, man, I'm not buying that shit. That's why I broke away from the Catholic Church. I'm still Catholic, but I broke away from the organized religion part of it, the group religion part. Because get the fuck out of here. I got to go through a priest to get my prayer to God. Get the fuck out of here, bro. The shit some of these people believe, man, it's insane. I can't believe I was. But being Italian, you're going to be raised Catholic, or else, it's just it's that simple. And they're all hypocritical. So the whole, I know we spun out of the universe here, guys, but what it is because of this trailer I just watched that I know there are people like that, and I'll speak out against the radicals, but I don't want anyone to ever think I hate another faith or another person's beliefs, and not because I'm woke or none of that shit, but because you have to find your faith in anything you can in today's world. And whether that be Buddhism or Hinduism or fucking, what's the other one, Maddie, besides Christian and Muslim? There's another one, a big one.
Buddhism, I think, is the other one.
Buddhism, Hinduism. Fuck yeah. I'll get those Scientology in there, man, even though they're wackadoodle. Whatever you can find faith in, whatever keeps you going through the day, man. I got into it. There was this girl. I wonder if you know her, Maddie, because you're up there. I think her name was Bionic Dance.
No, never sounds
crazy.
familiar.
This bitch was crazy. And she was a hardcore atheist. And she used to get into it with the Amazing Atheist and all those other guys like Undertaker. Remember when the big atheist movement was going on online?
Yeah, it kind of tied into the whole anti-feminist side of things. Yeah,
So-
that was a wild time.
I got into it with her
Jesus
because
Christ.
I got into a big fight with her, because on some panel, because she was like, these fucking stupid soldiers and blah, 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 crying out to their sky daddy, crying out to Jesus. Don't they know that Christianity's hurting us? They hurt us every day, because she was a fucking lesbian. And I'm like, okay, I get it. Christians do talk down on gays and lesbians. They do. Okay. And I don't agree with those Christians, but I'm like, if a soldier has just taken 5 or 6 fucking NATO rounds or 223 rounds or whatever the fuck they're using in their AKs now, 7.62s, and you're dying and you're bleeding out, and the only thing that's going to give that fucking soldier comfort before he dies is the belief that he might be going to heaven or he might be met by what the fuck do you care? How is that hurting anybody? How the fuck is that soldier, or anybody for that matter, a car wreck, a fucking hijacking?
Like before he dies?
Yeah, before he's
Like,
laying there
we're
bleeding out.
We're talking death is guaranteed.
Yeah.
And you're just talking about like giving them some solace before they die.
Yeah.
I get that's
What is
fine.
that soldier? How is that soldier hurting some fucking lesbian out of Seattle? It's that kind of
everything
shit.
hurts
that
lesbians
makes-
out of Seattle.
That's
Did you know that?
I didn't say. The views expressed by Matt Jarborough, not necessarily those expressed by us. You're going to get us in trouble.
Whatever.
No, but
Well,
I get it. I get what you're saying.
Well,
They're
well,
angry.
hold up
They're
here.
always
So-
angry.
Well, everyone in Seattle's angry because like the weather sucks.
You know my favorite part about these lesbians that hate men, these big old butch lesbians that hate men. You hate men so much. Why are you trying so fucking hard to look like us? That's all I want to know.
Because they're trying to take over, Chris. Don't you know?
They are, man. The WNB is going to be the death of us all.
Deep dick our women. That's what they're trying to do.
But yeah, I don't ever want anybody to think that. I don't ever want anybody to think that just because, and it's that time of year. This is the time of year. We were talking about this right now because it is that time of year. Well, and it's been 25 years now where I will go watch all the 9/11 documentaries and even the conspiracy ones. Because I am one of those motherfuckers. It wasn't just a hashtag for me. I watched that shit play out live in my living room. I watched all those people die, and I watched, and I'm one of those. It's not just a hashtag for me. I will never forget. But just because I'm mad at those kind of radical extremists does not mean I hate Muslims. And that movie right there, Maddie, is going to piss some fucking people off, man. When did that trailer drop?
A couple weeks ago.
Maybe I did spend a little time in the hospital
You were a little, I think, preoccupied.
Yeah. I still haven't told everybody. It's not a big secret though. I told you, but I will eventually tell everybody what's going on.
Yeah, I haven't said anything, so that's for you.
Not right now. I don't want to kill the mood, man. I don't want to kill the mood.
But well, no, okay. So check this out, right? Check this out. So I looked it up, right? So here's the thing: and evangelicals believe that Israel will suffer a catastrophic event the night before the Christ returns, more or less meaning that like 2/3 of Israelis will die.
There's supposed to be a nuclear fire, of which two of the dead Jews will rise again. Or 2 messengers, prophets, outside of the wall will rise again. But this will all be either right before, I can't remember, right before or right after the rapture. Because the first thing that's going to happen is the rapture. It goes rapture, tribulation, then the war, and the 4 horsemen. That's the belief structure. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I know that, Israel's going to take a beating. Everyone knows that.
Well, that's kind of the whole idea there is that. So here's what I'm thinking, right? So my whole theory with everything that's going on, the reason why I brought up the concept of the average age of a person in Gaza is 19. The leaders of Hamas are over in Qatar, right? And like everyone knows that. It's not even anything that's like up for debate. So Hamas needs to be destroyed. There's no question about it. But we know where Hamas is, and it's not necessarily in Gaza. The leaders that of it all are in another country. Israel has shown that they can take out people in other countries. They've done this. The whole pager thing from like a couple years ago has shown that they know how to run the long game on this kind of shit. So it's like, take out your enemy, but they don't want to, because of what they want to do is they want to systematically destroy the Gaza Strip in order for them to be able to build a fucking canal, right? They want, and that's something Trump has not hinted at the canal, but he's hinted at the reason. He talked about like redeveloping the Gaza Strip, right? Putting up a Trump hotel or a Trump casino or something with Trump's name on it in the Gaza Strip.
Dumb shit. Like that.
No. But the thing is, that is him literally saying the quiet part out loud. That was him literally saying that. Is like, he's like, if I go along
it's probably in his plan. I mean, he's obsessed with legacy.
Well, yeah, but like what I mean is like he goes along with all that shit, and then Netanyahu's like, yeah, we'll put a Trump. That's old news. Israel already did it. Already did what? The canal, or took out, redeveloped? I'm a little bit behind on all that shit. This is from shit that I know a while ago. But a command unit lives in Israel.
I had to check out of it, bro. I had to check out of it because there's so much going on over there, and I don't know what to believe, because there is this Jewish girl that I watch from Israel, and everyone says she's really hateful and all that, but I watch her and I don't see any hate from her. I see, if you hit me, we hit you back. I'm sorry, babies are dying. I'm sorry, but she's like, if you hit us, we hit you back. And her name's Mia Talia, and with an S on the end, Mia Talias, and she's got all these receipts, and I go, well, what if that's AI? What if that's not true? What if, so I don't know what to believe. So I've just completely checked out of it. Plus, Maddie, this shit was going on when our parents were kids. You know what I mean? When our parents were kids.
Yeah, and this is why religion is bad, and we should end religion. That's just the truth of it.
Organized religion, not all religion. You can't,
let's
Maddie, you
there.
can't take, what is this, equilibrium? You can't take somebody's faith away from them. We don't live in the Matrix. Not really.
No, what if what is faith? What is the concept of faith? It is
believing in something higher than yourself.
Than you. Okay, well, where does that come from? Who teaches that? Parents to their children.
That was taught by their parents and all the
it is a string of indoctrination.
It goes all the way back to the Dead Sea Scrolls, man. Even before that,
generation after generation of people putting this shit on their children and never ever seeing the fucking return of that investment, right? Because
we don't know. No one knows what happens when we die.
So there you go. That is exactly the whole point. You never know.
That's why it's called faith, Maddie. That's why it's called faith.
But then also, it's come on, man. Come on.
You got to take it on faith. That's why it's called faith.
This isn't a fucking like Limp Bizkit song, okay?
No,
like,
I'm just saying. I don't. There's agnostics, there's atheists, and then there's.
Think of it like this, though. Think of it like this. But how much of the concept of religion is just kicking the can down the road?
I don't know.
If Jesus didn't come back in my lifetime, maybe he'll come back in your lifetime or your kid's lifetime, right? But we gotta. Okay, you watch the Odyssey, right? What the whole concept of Zeus's law is just religion. Right. It's just organized religion through the lens of Greek mythology. Okay. Why does Zeus's law exist? Because if you turn away a beggar, that could be a god in disguise. Okay. So the concept there is that you are being forced into hospitality, not because you want to, but because of fear of retribution. And this is so much of what religion is. Why do you do something if nice for somebody else? Is it because you want to do it or because you feel that you're trying to appease a sky daddy whose rules and regulations change
I
constantly?
understand. I've heard this for a long time. And the only reason I choose to believe in a sky daddy is because of the one thing we have that the animals don't have and nobody else has. And it can't be explained by evolution. Okay. We have emotions. Human emotions. You can cry at a movie, or you can be scared of the dark, or you can be angry when somebody does something bad to you. Human emotion is why I believe in the soul. And the soul is connected to faith. That's my one and only argument for why I am a Christian. Because we have the one thing that nobody else has. You know, dogs, maybe horses, and they're actually in the Bible, by the way. They show emotion. All animals show emotion, but that's out of like instinct. We have a different kind of emotion. Like if a mommy dog, her pups die, she's gonna howl and be sad for a little bit. Then she's gonna get over it and just go out and have another litter. Us, we carry that shit like baggage forever. You can watch Endgame, and when Tony snaps his fingers and dies, we're all in the theater blubbering, and we don't know why.
No,
because
that's
emotionally.
You're thinking of empathy, but empathy
is only one type of emotion. It's only one type of emotion. Empathy, sympathy, anger, fear, lust. Like there's a lot of things, emotion. When you're in love, why do we get jealous? Were we taught to get jealous, Maddie? Were we taught that if we see somebody else playing with our toy, it's going to crush us as a man? Because somebody else fucked our woman?
No, that is an inherent that is a I don't want to say a learned trait, but it is a biological one, right?
Because and I think it comes from human emotion. I don't think
I don't think it comes from human emotion, because you can't sit there if you take a
they never found the missing link. That's why it's called the missing link. I'm saying.
So we're designed to be closer to monkeys and fucking drinking our piss and eating our shit?
I'm saying we evolved, but somewhere along that time frame, something happened. You know? Now, do I really believe Noah made a boat and put two of everything on it? Not really. But and it may not even be Jesus or Yahweh or Allah, Muhammad. But there's something out there. There's nothing that's gonna make me believe that just one day, boom, and we had all these planets and all these. But I will admit this: I get a little freaked out when I watch those documentaries, like how the universe was made, because you go, "That's logical." If that's logical, that means there's no God. Have you ever watched those?
Well, yeah.
They'll freak a Christian out, man, because we'll go, "Fuck, that makes sense."
Well, if you think about it, for example, like if we were going to travel at the speed of light, which is something we cannot do yet, and we wanted, it would still take us 4 years to get to the nearest star if we are traveling at the speed of light. The fastest we could potentially go right now might be around 78,000 miles per hour in one trajectory, right? And then at that point, there's space debris. Space debris hit something that's a speck of dirt at 78,000 miles per hour. It is going to have an impact.
Solar wind. Yeah, there's crazy shit out there in the universe.
Crazy shit out
and
there.
Is
right
it? Am I wrong, or is it not believed that each star is its own galaxy?
No, not each star is its own galaxy, but you have to remember what we're looking at in the night sky happened thousands, if not millions of years ago.
Yeah, the light, that star may be dead by now. And we're just not getting dead by now. It's insane how big the universe is, man.
Exactly. And so you're telling me there's one omnipotent being that oversees all of it?
Maybe just this sector.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Question. Every question you're about to ask me, I've asked people. I've also asked. I've been asking it since I was a kid. I only have faith and choose not to. I don't try to cram it on anybody else's throat. I only have faith because I choose to. I want to believe that there is something higher than me. That's the only reason, plus you're not going to, yeah, you're right, Maddie. It was pounded in my head with a big ass sledgehammer since I was a kid, and it's hard to let that go because what if there ain't a God? What if there ain't a heaven? What if there ain't an afterlife? Then everything we're doing right now is for nothing.
No, it's not. It's not for nothing.
Have fun while we're here, I guess. Maybe a good looking corpse, like in True Romance, or maybe it was aliens. Maybe I'm just saying, maybe it's not Jesus, maybe it's not God, but there's gotta be something out there, man. Gotta be. Something made all this. It's energy. Where'd the energy come from?
Energy cannot be destroyed, only displaced.
It can only be, that's what I'm saying. And it's all energy. And where did that energy come from? It just showed up one day, a gazillion years ago.
I mean, the Big Bang is the idea of the energy, right?
Yeah,
that's the idea of it.
And it's a good theory. But okay, what caused the Big Bang?
Well, see, that's the whole point, right? Is that
exactly, and that's why it freaks people out to not have faith sometimes. I just choose to have faith because what could it hurt? Even if it's not true, I'm not hurting nobody. Now, if I'm one of those Melanie Mac types, you're gonna go to hell, you fucking homo, all that shit, then yeah, man, I'm a horrible person for that. But if I'm just like, hey, man, I want to believe in it and it's not hurting nobody. Organized religion, on the other hand, does hurt people, and that's why I broke away from it. It's too culty, Maddie. It's a cult. It's everything but the Kool-Aid. And they'll use those words. You get the wrong guy with a lot of charisma, and you can cause a lot of fucking damage. Jim Jones, David Koresh. You get the wrong guy with a lot of charisma, and he can make that book mean anything to these people. And then it turns into what's her name?
And that is because people are desperate to belong. They're desperate to have something to believe in because they fear the believing in themselves, right? They fear, and this is a taught trait, by the way. This is something that is taught, where if something bad happens to you, well, God allows it or God doesn't allow it, right? It takes so much of the responsibility of your own self, your own actions, then it puts it on someone else. It almost relieves you and that might be something that works in regards to, let's say, emotional stress, right? So you're not beating yourself up thinking that it's a failure. But this is the biggest problem we have, is we do not teach people what it means to fail. All right. People seem to think that failure is an end state. And that's why you get a lot of people that commit suicide in these situations, because they're looking at it all and they feel that there's no coming back, that there's nothing that they can live for, nothing that they can do. Their entire world is over. So what's the point of living? Because we don't fundamentally teach people what it means to regulate emotions, to stop and to think about things logically, soundly, factually. Right? We teach emotional responses, not emotional resonance, but emotional responses. And that's shown to us with like the algorithms. It's gotten worse over time because people react. They don't think, they react, because we're dumb, stupid, panicky animals. And Men in Black was right with that particular line, and that's the biggest problem with it. So when you've got like all of this crap online going on with all the political stuff, or even anything involving movies. Like, look at how much people are freaking out over lanterns. Like literally freaking out. You know, I've had a couple posts about lanterns.
I didn't know people were freaking out over it. Really? I don't know if it's for me
losing
yet.
their shit. They're going like, "Oh, it changed the lore. It did this. Is fucking woke on." You know, but again, it's like, are you actually engaging with what the show is saying, or are you just looking at this through some predetermined lens? Or in many instances, like, are you looking at this through the lens of something somebody else imprinted on you? So do you not think, when you look at MAGA, do you not think that Trump constantly repeating the same talking points, i.e. the same lies, provable lies, over and over and over
every
again?
politician, though. You know what I mean?
No. I'm not talking every politician. They do, but I'm talking Trump specifically, because there's something about him that is different than every other politician. Is he the Antichrist? No, he's not.
We said it at the same time.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing with Trump. There is a weird breakdown about authenticity, right? There's this weird disbelief about authenticity. That authenticity, if you are polished and you are proper and you speak properly and well, right, and prepared, that it's not deemed as authentic, because it's something that is
it seems scripted,
right? But
when someone's robotic and monotone, you know?
but that could just be, again, that could be and politicians are largely robotic and monotone. You know, when they get on the floor, they're just reading, they're doing their thing, whatever, right? But then you look at someone like Trump, and Trump comes out and he fires from the hip. Sure, he's lying, but no one cares, right? He just makes up shit. Again, no one gives a shit, because like, he says it so often and he's entertaining. So because he is ill prepared and he is a fucking moron, but he knows how to talk to a crowd and get a crowd on his side. And he's good at making jokes, and again, cognitive dissonance and confirmation bias and all of these things that I would argue 99% of fucking politicians do not have that ability in the repertoire at all. Right? Like, that's one of the reasons why, you know, they rely on the talking heads of punditry to kind of push their message out there, because those people can talk repeatedly, you know, like at length every day. Look at what Rush Limbaugh did. He pushed a lot of the same bullshit talking points for years. And then
he hated the Clintons. He hated them. I mean,
he did.
But he ended up being right, you know, but his other shit was bullshit. But the shit that everyone's like, this motherfucker is crazy, there's no way that's really happening. Turned out it really was happening. But all the other stuff, he just hated the left entirely. You know what I mean?
Let me, have you ever read Weekly World News?
I think when I was younger, I did read Weekly World News.
Okay. The reason why I bring it up is they had a very interesting way of approaching.
And I used to listen to a lot of talk radio, Maddie, when I was in the joint. So
yeah, talk radio. I mean, I'll talk radio is nothing but bullshit. Jesus Christ. I mean, and that's most YouTube now is talk radio. This effectively is talk radio. And I'm going to say, even I'm going to have my own opinion on it. And I'm probably going to be labeled as bullshit too, but that's fine. But anyway, Weekly World News operated on what they called an 80-20 rule. And 80% of the news they reported on was true, right? They would find weird news stories from around the country, around the world, and they would report on that. And then they would make up 20%. So
No, you've told me about this before.
So the people who read the 80%, that read it, 80% of it's real, 20% of it's fake. So they start kind of bleeding it together, because if all of this is true, then why would they lie about the other?
You know, and I always thought he was an asshole. I never understood the rap songs or him being in movies or why The Apprentice was the #1 show in the world for so long and how it won so many. I always thought the guy was an asshole. And I really thought Hillary was going to win also. But I had no idea like that he was going to become president. And then like, I don't know. There's so much dumb shit this guy says and so much bad shit he's done that I don't understand why people don't just use that against him. Why do they got to go out there and like make up these crazy conspiracies, man? Like nail him to the fucking wall for the shit that he has done and the shit you can prove, not the shit that you can't prove. Like I never understood that, you know, because I have seen a lot of
what specifically.
Oh, that he's been lied about. I just like.
No, I'm curious. I'm curious.
Racist. I've never heard him say anything racist before.
I mean, he has been actively.
You know what I mean? I know he was connected to the Central Park 5.
Well, no,
they've never been able to prove these things.
No, well, he put out a full page ad in the New York Times.
Yeah, I remember. I was young, but I remember. Yeah,
murder.
And he said,
even though they didn't do it.
Yeah,
never mind.
And they were black.
But he got busted also for not renting apartments to black people and minorities.
Right, but those are the only two things I've ever heard. Is there anything new?
Like, what does it matter? What does it matter if it's the whole aspect of like, if you're going to go out of your way and you're going to spend a lot of money to put a full page ad in the paper saying that the Central Park 5 were rapists and murderers, even though they didn't fucking do it, and you're going to get busted for not renting apartments as to black and minority people, and it's like, what have you done lately? Like,
well, no, what I mean is if it can't be
calling
proved,
fucking Haitians who eat
okay, now that exactly that's something you can nail him to the cross for right there.
We all heard him say the one example they had of that was a black woman, not a Haitian woman, but a black woman who did it in a mental health crisis in Ohio, but not even at Springfield. So it's like they just, again, that is pretty fucking racist to say like that they're eating the cats, they're eating the dogs. That's
racist by political correctness culture or just racist? Because I don't know. Maybe he's dumb enough to believe.
Making the claim in general seems pretty racist to me.
Coming out of a president's mouth seems pretty racist. Yeah.
He wasn't president at the time.
Well, he was running. He was campaigning to be president. Like I've heard so much stuff, and I go, okay, wait, 30 some years ago, this girl. Like, I think my main problem is I want a good Democrat to win, but I don't want every Democrat's fucking what they're running on is, hey, at least I'm not Trump. That's why I do everything at such a small level, county, city, community.
Well, see, that's why when it comes to the whole running on, like, we're not Trump, Republicans won't do it. So not now. Eventually they will. They tried initially.
I don't think they're going to get in. I think the next one will be a Democrat if they can get their shit together. Because right now it's Hassan Piker this and
Hassan Piker,
what's the socialism, right? Socialism that spec op this. The Democrats are infighting like weird shit. Democrats try to distance themselves from other Democrats.
I would argue that what's going on, well, what you've got is again, there's a uniparty. Okay. Well, the conservatives are what you would argue as like a unified front. Okay. Like they're not at this point, they're all in line. They're in line. They're just in line. It doesn't matter what crazy shit Trump says.
What about the Never Trumpers?
The Never Trumpers barely exist at this point.
Like, they're gone now. Okay. Yeah.
No. They exist, but like, they don't have any institutional power. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. It's like, the main line of Republican Party is not coming out and saying like, fuck Donald Trump. They had the opportunity. When he was impeached following J6. They had the opportunity, but Mitch McConnell was like, no. Let's just fucking, he's not going to run again. He's not going to win again. They thought wrong. And now Mitch McConnell is like, dude, like I saw a video yesterday of him being wheeled out to the floor of the Senate.
Okay, so he's not dead.
No. This was 10 days before he disappeared. 10 days before he disappeared.
That's fucking insane.
And he was there for 20 hours. And they showed a time lapse of the whole Senate moving around him. And he was just sitting there for 20 hours, not moving.
He might be a VeggieTale, bro. He might be a VeggieTale.
Oh, he's definitely a VeggieTale, 100%. But it's like that again, that's something that they are just like, fucking Dianne Feinstein with the Democrats not wanting to lose a senatorial
seat. So he didn't move at all the whole time.
No, I see if I could. I gotta see if I could fucking find it.
Oh my god, bro!
But like, it was basically, yeah, it was. Hold on, let me see if I can fucking find it here.
I'm just so disenfranchised right now because of things like Fauci. Like just shit like that. You never know who to trust and who to believe. So I hate both sides, to be honest. I mean, I don't know what I am. I thought I was a libertarian. Today, what would I be considered? A moderate? Is that what you would call it? A centrist? I don't know.
But at the same time, I'm trying to understand what do you mean by Fauci shit?
Him getting popped off for telling all those lies and then finding that diary and all that crazy shit. Him going on trial.
That didn't even do anything. That was all dog and pony show. What are you talking about? That was entirely a dog and pony show.
Did he lie to us or not?
Did he lie? Did he have all the information? There becomes the question.
Was it really from a wet bar or whatever the fuck they call it?
At the
wet
time,
market?
at the time, they believed wet market.
Or did it come from his
but
bullshit?
hold up. At the time,
what do we believe? I don't know what to believe.
Now, do we believe that at this point that there was a lab leak? Yeah, I would argue that that's probably pretty decent, pretty fair to make that assessment. Did we have that information at the time? No. Was it beneficial at the time to have that because there was a lot of racism that was anti-Asian racism that was happening at the time? That is true, right? You had Trump out there calling it the China virus, right?
But what about was the gain of function shit true or not?
Explain that one to me.
Okay, gain of function is when you basically soup up a already bad virus to see what it will do. I don't know if they do it for weaponizing or for vaccines or probably for both, considering the day and age we live in. But they're saying that his gain of function research is what made COVID so strong. And then they gave it to the PLO. It leaked to the PLO, and the PLO are the people that released it. And I went, that sounds completely made up. There's no way that's a Michael Crichton novel. You know what I mean?
According to Google, because I don't know. According to Google, it says that it is a intense political and scientific debate without a definitive global consensus. So I guess it all really depends on who you talk to. But the core
debate, and that's what I mean by I don't know what to believe anymore. You know,
but I would argue
I do know that no one's going to tell me my eyes didn't lie to me. I remember Trump saying dumb shit like we should drink bleach. that one was funny. We should drink Drano and bathroom cleaners. But he also said we're doing Operation Warp Speed and we will get this vaccine out. It'll be the fastest vaccine to ever come out. And I'm on top of it. And all the Democrats went, man, we ain't even Kamala. Man, we ain't using that shit. I don't trust this motherfucker. Man, fuck that vaccine, man. And then as soon as the Democrats got in power, they took that same vaccine and told us we have to take it. And we watched that happen with our own eyes.
I think people were concerned. About a warp speed aspect of having that kind of situation. You know what I mean? I think people were concerned about how fast a vaccine could come out. Would that cause problems? Okay.
I do want Medicare for all, Kuntz, but I don't want big government. I don't want socialism. I don't want communism. I don't want the government to be in control of how much I can eat, how much money I can spend, or pocket watching my, you know what I mean? That's all
fucking happen here in the United States.
I know it won't, but people want
education. Right. And
I know it'll never happen here, Maddie. I know
people is not communism. It's not.
But me saying I don't want that doesn't mean I don't want healthcare for all. See what I mean? That's how you get back into a corner. Something like what Kuntz just said could back a person into a corner. It's framed wrong. Do you not want healthcare for all? Do you not want this? Do you not want that?
I absolutely want that. And I think
I do too, but I also don't want socialism. I don't want big government, and I don't want communism.
But again, can you define communism? Can you define
hard to define it these days?
No, it's not. It's a pretty straightforward concept, right? That's the thing. The political definition, the definitions of these things haven't really changed. People's idea of what they are have shifted in order to basically play up a narrative. Okay. Socialism and communism are not the same fucking thing. All right.
No, they are different. They are different. They look a lot alike, but they are different.
So let me difference between communism, socialism. Okay. Socialism and communism are both economic philosophies that reject pure capitalism and advocate for public ownership. But
collective ownership. They want collective ownership.
Well, hold on.
That's the big problem.
Communism envisions a fully stateless, classless society where all private property is abolished, whereas socialism allows for limited private property and acts as a transitional phase towards that ultimate goal. So it's socialism allows individuals to own personal property, but major means of production like factories and large industries are publicly or state owned. All right. And I don't think anybody really look, I'm a capitalist. We definitely have to have capitalism, but we also have to understand that the market, or I should say the populace, is what creates the jobs, right? The demand for the product or the population creates the jobs. Okay. Now, the thing is, these business owners, they are in it to make money. That's capitalism. But you have to ask yourselves, like, at what point in time, like at what point in time is it up to them to like maybe pay a bit more so we can make everyone rise up together, right? This is where I say the two tenets that I support the most are education and healthcare. Now, is it a lot easier for education, public education, like tuition free education? I think that's like that's a couple $2 billion a year, right? Compared to the 73 trillion that it would take for fucking healthcare for all. Like $73 trillion a year for fucking healthcare is an insane amount of money that is almost entirely unfucking tenable. All right,
it's not.
Like,
it's not almost. It is.
it
can't
is.
be
It
done.
is, right? But it's like, but then you have to ask yourself, okay, fine. How do we then make it more affordable? Well, this is where AI comes into play, because AI is going to bring those costs down, right? They're developing these AI doctor situations right now, not situations, like these little I guess you could say, like, I want to call them like kiosks, like in boxes or whatever. You can kind of walk on in, and like you can, it's got all the machinery there. You kind of put your finger in, it takes your temperature, does your blood pressure, all that shit, and then it brings out like a remote doctor that you can talk to via webcam, and then it can get all your data, your vitals, and they can kind of assess most of what's needed, right? Because a lot of people go to urgent care because getting an appointment with your actual primary care physician
It takes forever.
takes
It could be
months.
weeks, a couple.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
for me,
like,
it's weeks. But I'm in the Midwest, where you are way more populated. Yeah, it probably take you a month to get into see your
takes me a
primary.
while.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I really try, even though I have full health coverage provided by the state. I don't know how, but I do. And and those guys, like, I still try not to go to urgent care. Like the one thing that I get is I get my medications, which is I'm very thankful for.
I know, but it's not just the rich doctors that are losing their jobs if this shit gets put everywhere, Maddie. They said the same thing about assembly line workers at the car factories, and then machines started building cars, and how many people lost their jobs? It won't just be the rich. It won't just be the rich asshole doctors that lose their jobs. It'll be the nurses and the paramedics and the first responders.
I disagree. I think those are jobs that are not going to go away. Those are jobs that are going to increase. Right now, the medical industry, especially RNs and fucking EMTs, that is, as far as I understand it, an industry that is rapidly growing. Medical billing is a big one as well, right? It is like, that is one of the only industries that's actually showing growth. It's not the best. It's not what people want to do, but
it's the one profession, or one of the one professions that's never gonna go extinct. You'll always need them. But if you start getting robotic nurses, or at least, I know we're a long way away from robots, but like when you get machines to do things that humans are doing. I saw, man, have you seen the commercial for the self-driving trucks now that they're going to try to put on the highway?
Yeah.
Not fucking Tesla trucks, big giant fucking 18-wheelers, man.
And that's been going on for a while.
Yeah. How many truckers are going to lose their jobs?
Probably a few of them.
And that's fucked up to me, man. Especially considering where I'm at and all the truckers I know.
Okay, but let me ask you this then. Where's that concern just on its own for I don't know, like switchboard workers? Telephone
anyway, I get it.
Telephone companies don't exist in the way that they used to.
No, they don't. But telecommunications is still a big thing.
Telecommunications is. So you're telling me that the entire industry has shifted from one aspect to another.
And I'm the one that always agrees with you on you can't stop progression. So you better.
I'm just saying.
You better start walking down the freeway, or you're going to get ran over.
You cannot at this point get a hard-lined telephone line in this country.
No, it's still it's all Bluetooth now or something like that. It's all
internet. It's all internet based.
It's all internet.
Right? It's all VoIP. And that's all it is. And it's like I live in the woods. If I lose internet or power goes out,
But I still think it needs to be regulated. Like it's sad that a lot of people are gonna. I mean, what if you think about AI and the actual foundation of where it is now and where it's going to be even 10 years from now, Maddie? How many people? It's inevitable, but how many different kinds of jobs are going to be lost?
But how many
have machines doing everything for you, and there's no stopping it.
How many jobs are going to be opened?
What jobs? Name me a job that's going to be open if okay. A bunch of
So-
truckers lose their job. They should learn to code.
That's how a lot of people are. Yeah, a lot that's happening in West Virginia with the fucking coal miners.
I know,
There's
and
actually-
that's fucked up. That's
It's
fucked
not
up
fucked
too.
up. It's shifting to another. It's shifting. Certain jobs die. Certain things die. That is the evolution of progress.
I'm not disputing that fact. What I'm saying is it's sad that it has to happen. People
It's not
losing their jobs.
Okay, fine. Sad is a weird word to say there because you can't sit there and go like, we've moved on now from in 100 years of Ford Roadsters in the
I'm
20s.
just saying it might be good for our kids. It'll be good for our kids. But it won't be good for people that have already planted their roots down now and they've done one career their whole life and they're this close to retirement and they can't learn to do anything else.
See, I think that's a self-limiting belief. Truly.
No, it's not, man. Think about it. You worked in a factory your whole life. You're one of those people that you're not exactly a misanthrope and you hate everybody, but you're like my uncle. He hates technology. He hates it. He doesn't mind being able to get on and watch Netflix or find porn on his phone or whatever. But for the most part, technology freaks him out. He don't like it. Okay. Now there are so many people that are either figure they're too old to even learn this kind of shit, or they figure they can't learn it. Even middle-aged men are like, I'm not going to be able to learn how to do that. Now that maybe they could learn, but it's still a little late in life to start a new career. You can't be 48, 49 years old and go, I want to be this when I grow up. You're already grown up. And that's the only reason I think it needs to be regulated.
I think that's a self-limiting belief right there. I think at that point, if you believe you have nothing else you can live for, then you are just waiting to die. And that's a problem. That's not good. You know what I mean? But it's like, this is whole concept of like, of just kind of waiting for somebody else to do it for you. All right.
I get it. That was funny. That made me laugh. Otis made me laugh. It's a South Park joke.
I know.
Our jobs.
Yeah. HBar's asking, Chris, will you be storming the Capitol in 2028?
No, I'm not a Trump guy. I lean right on certain things. That's it. Like that's all.
My whole thing is like, look,
you're not going to get in my face and tell me I got to respect your fucking pronouns. Fuck your pronouns. That's all. I'm that kind of guy. I'm cut from that kind of cloth. I will respect you as a person. If you ask me nicely, hey, I don't want to be considered this. I would like you to call me Sarah instead of Sean. You bet. Thanks for asking me nice. But if I accidentally misgender somebody because they had a fucking beard and I didn't see the eyeliner and you get in my face, I'm going to brick you in the fucking mouth. I don't give a shit if you consider, it's that kind of shit is all I'm talking about. That's why PCU is one of the greatest movies ever, because political correctness has gotten a little bit out of control. It's that kind of stuff. But I don't like Trump either. I think he's an asshole. I think he should be in jail right now. But what can we do? What can I do? I'm a guy from fucking Missouri, like what can Maddie do? We got too much of our, he's got 2 daughters to worry about and a fucking job that works him to the bone and shit like that, man. We don't have time to like go out and be the Rebel Alliance. We just don't.
Well, my thing on that would be, it'd be a lot nicer if we could, find a place that, because here's the reality of it. Politically speaking, it's the biggest problem, right? Like we have to realize that like every time there is a Democrat in power, our country does better. And that's true. Right? Every time.
Hold on, let me think. I've been through a lot of these fuckers. Let me think.
Okay.
Yes, we did better.
I mean, if
everybody hated Reagan, but Reagan did good. After Reagan came Bush. Bush was horrible. I don't want to hear about Reaganomics. The 80s were a booming time, bro. Everybody had jobs. Everybody had cocaine. It was a great.
I mean, look, there's like the Reaganomics. In essence, it was like a ticking time bomb. Was Reaganomics, and Reaganomics.
The trickle down. Yeah, the trickle down economy. Yeah, you're right.
It fucked up, right? And then Bush,
George Bush Sr. was a fucking hand job. Clinton was amazing. Clinton was fucking amazing. We didn't know he was a monster. I remember hanging signs and passing out flyers and going to the marches. You guys don't know this, but your boy used to be an activist.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. What do you mean? Like outside of the Lewinsky thing, how is Clinton a monster?
Just both of them are like hearing that
Again,
tape.
that's not a fucking
Okay,
hearing
the tape. Okay, I've heard the tape. I've literally heard that when that girl got raped. Okay, and Hillary
what
knew
girl?
that this girl in Arkansas had gotten raped, and this is when Hillary was a lawyer, and she knew that her client was guilty, knew it. And instead of accusing herself or taking herself away from it, she won the case and she bragged about it and joked about it. You can find this on the internet. She laughed about it.
And that's her job as a defense attorney.
Man, you just literally told me that however many years ago, wrong is wrong, right, Matt?
Wrong is wrong, but we also have to understand.
So putting black kids in a newspaper or not renting something to somebody because they're black makes him racist, and that's a bad thing to do. What she did was bad also.
No, what she did was her job. There's a difference of it. There's an absolute ethical and moral difference there. Should she have recused herself knowing that her client was guilty beyond a reasonable doubt and would be found guilty? Yes. Does she owe it to that client to work at the best defense that she can? Also, yes. That is the hold up. That is the fucking oath that lawyers and attorneys and defense attorneys take.
I thought it was just attorney-client privilege, and you could take yourself away from the case.
It is a job that she chose to do. I'm not saying I agree with it, but I'm pointing out here that there is that was the job that she was hired for. Okay. And so that is the job that she did. Now, was she working for a firm at the time, and the firm ended up retaining the case and she was a lawyer? Like her job was to her client. That is the job of an attorney or defense attorney. Okay. It's like, it sucks, but it's not what you would call. It's why people hate lawyers. All right. Because their job is to fucking get into the dirt and to win by any means necessary.
Do you think, I mean, I don't know if it's a conspiracy theory, but you think the Clinton side, stuff is just a conspiracy? I just think it's really weird. Anybody who has ever had any dirt on the Clintons either disappears or like dies mysteriously.
Well, are you talking about the Seth Rich situation?
Just all of it.
There's like, well, the thing with Seth Rich, I was kind of laughed at because like there's no evidence that Seth Rich was gonna like turn on the Clintons or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, did a DNC hire get killed in his doorstep in DC? Yes. Is it likely that it was a mugging gone wrong? I'm going to say probably.
There's a reason it's a meme, Maddie. Like they had a list of all the people that have.
There's a reason why a lot of things are memes.
They're dead. But then you could also do Bible code shit with that. But yes, Clinton did amazing.
You can also say the same thing about what is it? About Kevin Spacey.
Obama did great. Well, Obama was more like linear. He didn't make anything. Well, his healthcare is not bad. His healthcare idea, but for the most part, he ran the country superbly for 8 years. He didn't make it any worse. Didn't really make it much better. But
Wait, Clinton?
Perfect. No. I'm talking about Obama. Then after Obama came this motherfucker.
No, we had a lot of economic recovery under the 8 years under Obama. It was actually the passing of the ACA. A lot of other legislation that went through. All things considered, we were kind of on the up and up again. And then this is what happened. Trump comes in. Trump claims he inherited a mess, which is a complete bullshit thing.
No, it was on the uprise.
You're on the uprise. So
yeah, it was on the uprise.
COVID happens. Trump is a fucking moron. Trump leaves. Biden comes in, fucking passes massive amounts of legislation.
I believe what you believe. Every president has to clean up what the last president did, or they get to ride the high the last president made happen.
Well, that was kind of the thing. If Trump would have done nothing if Trump would have done nothing in 2017, right? Done nothing. He would have been able to ride the economic success of Obama's presidency and been able to ride that probably to a second term.
Literally Hitler. Like
no. He could have done that. The thing is, he could have done that. But Trump, you got to understand, Trump never wanted to be president. He wanted
I think he wanted revenge on Obama.
No, he didn't want revenge on Obama.
I think it all stems from that White House Correspondents' Dinner where Obama roasted his fucking ass.
Yeah, and Seth Meyer was also there too, and that was really funny.
Because I remember decades ago him telling Oprah, "I'm not going to be president. I don't want to be president. I'm never going to run for president." And that was back when everybody loved Trump. Oprah, one of the biggest sleepers on the planet. Do you want to be president someday, Mr. Rappers writing about him. Number one show. I never understood it. Because I always thought he was an asshole. It's
always about proximity to power. Okay. Trump has always lived this larger than life persona, but you got to understand that it's like, it is a lie. In most ways, it's a lie. everything about him is a lie. Everything about him is misconstrued. The whole concept of like, you know, the Apprentice and everything, that all of that was all just, it was Mark Burnett and television. That was just TV magic that people believed. They believed because they saw it, and they believed it because it was told to them repeatedly.
He was like going to WrestleManias and shit.
Yes.
He was this huge icon of
real
real estate. And I always thought he was an asshole. Always.
But he is literally kayfabe. Okay.
But,
and then
everybody seemed to have loved him. And you're saying that was all kayfabe? Because I believe you. It could be. It sounds logical. It really does sound logical.
With Trump wanted to be, Trump wanted to run in order to become the most famous man in the world. Okay. And by all accounts, he has been for the last, I don't know, like 11 years.
And I don't know what the fuck he's doing this term, but he's gotten us into so much shit. Even Republicans are like, whoa.
His brain is broken.
Dude, what the fuck are you doing? That's why I am not a Trump guy, bro. Never will be a Trump guy. But I don't know why do people think that?
Is anyone in the chat saying you're a Trump guy? I haven't seen that.
They always joke with me about it, like, oh, Chris would have stormed the Capitol, you know, shit like that. Yeah. And I'm just like, guys, I do not like Trump. I don't know why I hate that motherfucker. I've always thought he's an idiot. You know, and I've always thought he's an asshole, an arrogant, fucking asshole.
You gotta remember though. You gotta remember that when it comes
shave
to
your head, homie, it's over. Let it go. Buy a wig, something. You know what I mean?
But I don't believe that you're a Trump guy. I think it's, again, a lot of conservatives find themselves, or right-leaning people, whatever, find themselves in this political trap.
We get glommed in with MAGA, and it's bullshit.
Well, because so much of MAGA is this identity thing. It's all identity politics, right? The left loves their pronouns, the right loves their red hats. It's the same fucking thing.
Right. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna give you that. And now you know what? Because you said that believe it or not, that was silly, but it was profound. Because you said that, I'm gonna lighten up on the pronoun shit. Because I get it. That was the perfect way anyone could have explained that to me, bro. Right there, what you just said. You're absolutely right.
It's just people get swept up in the idea of not being the other. Okay. Like that's all it boils down to. Right.
And by the way, I love the left. It's the way far left that I don't care about. You know, when Matt says this is why people hate the left, he's talking about the extreme left. He's not the radical. Yeah. He's not talking about the liberals, man.
Like, and there's
nothing wrong with wanting good for your fellow man. And that's what liberals want.
You brought up Hassan Piker, right? Like, why do people care about Hassan Piker? You shouldn't care about Hassan Piker.
Exactly. Shut up about him, because all he wants is attention.
But no. The thing is, yes, does he want attention? He's been doing this now for a long time. Does he want attention? Absolutely. But do people give it to him? Yes. And the reason why the right wing is giving it to him right now, more so than the left, is because they need an enemy leading into the fucking midterms.
Well, they found their James Bond villain, didn't they?
Well, they did, because he dresses like fucking Chairman Mao, and he says a lot of dumb shit.
Like, we deserve 9/11. I want to see capitalist blood in the streets. I hope this person dies. And it didn't help him shocking his dog on live TV like that either.
Well, the dog thing definitely wasn't good.
You know, the shit he says is crazy. But is he saying it for shock value, or does he mean it?
I think it's a mixture of both. I think he looks, because you gotta understand.
What's his nationality, Maddie? He's Turkish, right?
He's Turkish. Yeah, okay. So here's what you got. Okay, so I'm going to kind of apply a comparison here that may seem a little bit weird, but like, hear me out. Okay, it is Hassan Piker and Andrew Tate are very similar. Okay, right. So both of them rely heavily on the work of others to spread their message. So Hassan Piker sits there. He's on Twitch 8-12 hours a day. All right, having to constantly be on, meaning he's got to think of things to say constantly that are going to get attention. And the more things that he says that get attention, people, then there's an entire cottage industry. The same thing goes for Andrew Tate, except in the case of Andrew Tate and his brother pay people to post their clips everywhere on TikTok and YouTube and Instagram and Twitter in order to then spread that reach. But fucking Hassan Piker, he doesn't do that. He allows anybody to clip out his live streams and post those videos. So you've got channels that make a lot of money by posting Hassan clips. So all those guys do is they clip farm Hassan all day long, and they just post and post and post and post and post. And as a result of that, that goes in the algorithm that gets his face out there, his name out there, his words, his voice, everything. And then that leads people to go back to the live stream, where he then makes more money from Twitch. So the more more people spread his message, basically,
That's crazy.
the things he says, that means more people pay attention.
All I've ever seen is clips, Maddie. I have never watched one of that guy's live streams in my life. I've never watched one.
I've tried. He's very boring. And that's one of the reasons why the clips work, because the clips cut out all the dead air. Right?
When you watch Asmongold always getting into it, and I don't like the Roach King either. I don't like the Roach King either. Fuck that. You clean your house, motherfucker.
But when you think about it like this, though, same thing with Asmongold. Asmongold, people post clips. He posts clips, right? The idea there is that the clips are going to go out, talk about the viral moment. They're going to be shorter, punchier, whatever. People are going to edit them so then they're more palatable for someone to listen to while they're walking or taking a shit or working out or whatever, rather than going and actually listening to like a fucking 5 hour, 6 hour live stream. One of the things I fucking hate about live streaming is that like I'll stream for a couple hours and then I'm fucking dead inside afterward, because I'm like, that was all this expenditure of energy, because I don't like a dull moment. I don't like a dead air. I don't like a dull moment.
I get it.
He's moving, right? But I couldn't do 6 hours a day of fucking
politics, or politics. But there are some on the left I like. Like, I don't know who this new guy is. He may not even be new. He may just be making the clip streams now. But he looks like if Eminem got old. Well, Eminem is old now, but if Eminem still had his blonde hair and got old, some left guy. He wears a suit.
I don't know who you're talking about.
He's in a bright room that looks like Saved by the Bell. It looks like I swear to God, it looks like the cafeteria from Saved by the Bell. But he's got blonde hair and a white suit.
You're talking about Kyle Kalinske.
Okay, yeah, I don't like him, but I love Pac-Man. I love David Pac-Man.
I have unsubscribed from David Pac-Man.
Why? What do you do?
I have gleefully unsubscribed from David Pac-Man. I am so tired. So goddamn fucking tired. Same with Kyle's not as bad as this, but David will be like, he'll post a video going like, they're coming to take my channel.
Oh, and yeah, he did. And he does flip flop a little, right? He's part of the division right now between the so-called socialists and the Democrats. He's kind of driving the wedge. He did kind of pull back.
I'm more on his side, but I'm more on his side with that.
But he makes a lot of sense, man. When you listen to him, he makes a lot of sense. David Pac-Man makes a lot of sense, bro.
And it's like, I fucking hate when he purposefully mispronounces words. There's this one guy that I've been watching cover the whole Tristan and Andrew Tate situation. And his name's like Mike Nellis. And he keeps saying Tristan. And I'm like, it's Tristan, you fucking, but it's so annoying. I'm like, I'm just going to turn it off.
So you gleefully unsubscribed from, at one time, was one of your favorite leftists.
Yeah, I listened to Pac-Man daily, and then I just got so fucking annoyed by it that I'm like, I'm done.
Ricky Berwick's the fucking king, Shifty. He's the king, baby. But you know what I'm saying? I don't think he's very political. Is he politically?
Ricky and I follow each other, so I am one of
Ricky's hilarious, dude. He really is.
Ricky's great. Yeah. I like Ricky quite a bit. I will always defend Ricky because I think he's really fucking funny, and everything he does is like, it's all tongue in cheek. And if you think in any way it's all craziness or it's believable, I think you're retarded.
Wait, Kunst, let me ask you something, Kunst, real quick. Are you it doesn't matter if you are, I'm not gonna shit on you. Are you a Hassan fan? Are you a Piker fan?
No, I don't think he is, but he likes Sam.
Well, he said that Hassan apologized for that 9/11 thing, and it was just a joke, and he apologized for it. I'm like, yeah, but then just 2 nights ago, he was making fun of Charlie Kirk. I'm like, whether you love Charlie Kirk or hate Charlie Kirk, you're fucking making fun of the guy getting assassinated. Where the fuck's the humanity in that? And then he sat down and he made another joke about the 9/11 thing, which makes me think that apology was bullshit. You know what I mean? So
it's very hard to tell when you.
That's why I asked you if it's for shock value or not.
A lot of it's for shock value.
Because if he was a true socialist, a true one, he wouldn't be buying Porsches. I can see a socialist. You want to have a mansion? Go right ahead, Bernie. I love you, Bernie. You're an old man and you worked fucking hard for everything you have. I don't give a fuck if you got 20 mansions. When you're going out and buying Porsches and using your money, and like the thing that they did in Cuba, that rubbed me the wrong way because my mom's from there and I've been there, and I'm telling you, man, it's very poor. And you bring in all these influencers who I fucking hate, by the way. I fucking can't stand on these influencers these days. And then they take all that electricity to the point that people in hospitals were dying because of it. And they didn't give a fuck. You're a socialist, but you have to stay in a 5-star hotel. Like, it's just little shit like that makes me go, okay, what's real and what's not? What's true and what ain't? Because Maddie, I'm to the point now, I can't tell the liars from the truth seekers, man.
Well, it's and that's kind of the whole thing, right? Because I think a lot of it boils down to cognitive dissonance, confirmation bias. Okay. So it's like, I see Coon brings up Sam Cedar. I like Sam Cedar. I don't like where Sam Cedar has gone since he has hired Emma Vigeland. Emma Vigeland has come on in and I think turned the show, because Sam Cedar with Emma there has backed off quite a bit. Okay. Like the majority report with Sam Cedar might as well be Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, right? Like it goes more to Emma. He, he's referring to her or deferring to her more and more from what I can tell. Never mind the fact that Sam is moved away from, he spends more time now wanting to shit on Dave Rubin or Tim Pool. And both of those are really fucking funny because both those guys fucking suck. And I say this because I know both of those guys, they fucking suck.
And the worst part is they all want to beat Tim Pool, who used to be one of the good ones, and we lost him too, didn't we?
Well, they want to be, they laugh at the fact that that these guys will just say whatever and their audience never fact checks or never cares, right? Like that's kind of the whole point. But
well, Taylor, you do stand up, right? Taylor, you are a comedian. You do stand up, and telling a joke is absolutely within your wheelhouse. And you could have done it the very next day, and it's fair game because you're a comedian, and everyone knows that to me that should be acceptable. But getting on stage and literally making fun of the guy because you hated him and you wanted him to die is a big difference. Where'd you go? Maddie, come back. I can't do this without you, Maddie. Well, for them, it was considered a 5-star hotel. But see, I see the stuff and I form my opinion, and then you see the stuff and you form your opinion, Kunst. And the best thing we can do is just respect each other's opinions, because I feel that for Cuba.
Sorry. Okay. I'm back.
That I feel that it for them, it was 5-star for Cuba anyway. Yeah. I don't think people really understand how poor places like Cuba and Haiti, they're very, very poor, man.
How poor are they?
They're pretty fucking poor. Cuba's pretty bad, man. My mom couldn't wait to get the fuck out of there. You got to remember, I'm first generation American. Me and my brothers, both my parents are immigrants, which is why I don't like the shit going on with ICE. You want to get the bad element out of here? Fine. You start snatching up motherfuckers that are born here. You start snatching up motherfuckers just because you want to please Orange Daddy, and you start shooting innocent people. You deserve everything coming to you, bro. Everything. So if somebody runs you over, I'm sorry that maybe your kids lost a father, but you shouldn't have fucking been doing what the fuck you were doing. So I'm not going to have any sympathy for you. I'll have sympathy for your family, but not for you. Like that. I mean, I missed it. I'm one generation away from being rounded up by ICE myself. Wouldn't I? Matter of fact, let me ask you guys a question. Wouldn't I be considered an anchor baby? Well,
I don't think so.
Yeah, my parents came here legally. So, okay. But still, man, it's not fair what they're doing. If you want to get the MS-13 motherfuckers out of here and the fentanyl motherfuckers out of here and do the stuff that you ran on, that you said you were going to do, that's fine. Okay. But when you start rounding up just anybody, everybody and anybody, then you're a piece of shit. And the people that are following your orders, what they say in Clerks, there was another group of people that were just following orders too. What were they called, Maddie?
Yeah.
And I really believe that. Oh, just following orders. No. There's a time and place when you have to say, no, not following those orders. Okay. Like, what, I don't know. This shit bothers me, man, because I left it for so long and now I'm kind of getting back into it, Matt. And, that's why I said, I'll argue with a guy like Maddie till I'm blue in the face, but I would never debate him. You know what I mean? Not without a tablet and a computer and a laptop and all these things I can Google and fact check in real time. Because, I'm not as educated as you guys are in politics, but I do know what I see. And I don't like it when someone tells me not to believe my lion eyes. That kind of shit bothers me,
Yeah, I got to get super chats because I got it. My daughter, that's why I came be quiet. My daughter, we're supposed to go to the store. It's kind of a late night, like last week of summer late night thing. We're going to go in a few, but I got to start winding it down.
You're going to go to the store at midnight with your kids?
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome.
So we're gonna go get some I think some beef jerky probably, and
almost an anchor baby. Yeah, some beef jerky. What is it with you and beef jerky lately?
I love beef jerky. You don't like
okay, all right.
Well, I mean they've cranked the price up for beef jerky.
I know. You know what it costs across the street where I'm at? Well, it depends on what you get. If you want like Jack Links or whatever, it's gonna cost you about $7 or $8. All right. Now that might be cheap compared to where you are. You're Pacific Northwest.
No, it's fucking expensive. Yeah,
it's probably $133 for like an 8-ounce bag of it. But if you get the homemade beef jerky from where I'm at,
less expensive.
You got to remember, I'm in the heartland, baby, and that they make it here. Well, you guys got farms where you're at, you know. But we have like real organic shit here, and it's cheap. It's not like Whole Foods. It's your dog treats, all organic. Your dog food, all organic, and beef jerky, all organic, and it's so fucking good, bro. But if you want it, you're gonna pay $13 to $15 for like maybe 8 pieces of that shit. And they have every flavor you can think of. And when I say every flavor, I mean every flavor. Y'all ever heard of tarantula jerky? Yeah, it's a real thing.
Tarantula jerky?
Tarantula jerky. Made out of tarantulas, bro. No joke. I'm not making it up. There's snake jerky, goat jerky.
Okay, snake jerky I get.
Yeah.
Hold on. Edible tarantula in a bag. Let's see here. The meat tastes like a mixture of cod and chicken. Okay, so I think it's just like you can eat the tarantula, but it's like it's
I'm
a Thailand.
I wouldn't eat that furry shit. I've seen the big giant tarantulas you can eat, and I'm gonna tell you guys from experience, the bigger the spider, the safer the spider.
Well, look at this here. This
is one of those camel spiders. The smaller the spider, the more dangerous. Brown recluses, black widows, wolf spiders.
A deep fried spider, edible tarantulas. Look at this.
What it's just fucking, you know. No,
I don't know what this. Oh my god!
I've done I've done grasshopper before, but grasshoppers taste like, believe it or not, guys. You ever had a Werther's? You know what Werther's candy is?
Yeah, I love Werther's candy.
That's what a grasshopper tastes like. You got to get past what you're eating. Grasshoppers and crickets are sweet for some reason. I've tried them. I won't be the next guy saying, hey, let's have some grub worms. I'm not doing that. But every once in a while I'll go, fuck it, I'll give it a shot. What's the worst that can happen, you know? And I've tried the tarantula, and you get the hair in your mouth. It's disgusting. It's so gamey. It's so gamey. I can't even describe the taste. It's awful. It tastes like sewage.
You can order fucking dried tarantula from Thailand.
Yeah.
They grow tarantulas. Look at this here. This is fucking horror. It's fucking stuff in
nightmare fuel is what it is. It's a fucking horror movie.
Jesus. That's crazy. Okay, so I do need to I gotta start getting to the super chat.
Right, here's what I'm gonna do. Let me get out of here. Tell you guys I love you so you can read all your super chats and won't get sidetracked again. And I want you to go have some fun with your kids, man. Because we're cool dads, Maddie. We are. My kid loves Stevie Nicks and fucking the Marvel movies. You know what I mean? Doing that kind of shit is the kind of shit you're supposed to do as often as you can. You know?
Yeah, they go back to school in a week, so I'm kind of getting that whole.
And she's probably excited, wants to go shopping with dad. Don't buy her nothing sweet.
yeah. Well, I think we get like like the sparkling water. They got sparkling water there, like single cans for like $0.25, and then it's just maybe like a protein snack or something.
You know what they're telling me? Because I told you what's going on. You know, I'm only allowed so many ounces of water a day. I'm not allowed to drink anything diet because the artificial sweetener accelerates the process of what's happening to me right now, which I didn't know. So they said I can have 4 ounces of soda or Sunny D or whatever as long as I take my insulin. So I'm gonna be a thirsty motherfucker for like the next week or so, bro, because I'm only allowed to drink so much. It sucks so bad. Anyway, I'm a bounce. Read your super chats. Get on it. I love you guys. I'll see you on the next one.
I'll see you later, buddy. Feel better. All right, Chris, everybody. Okay. All right. Let me get into this here. Wow. Holy shit. Okay. First off, I did miss this one here from Mo. Sup, you nerds. Hail the God Sasquatch. The God Sasquatch. All right, cool. Command Unit here says, sent you an impressive AI short. I'll see if I can get to it. I'll try. I've got a ticked off 8-year-old I gotta get to. Command Unit here says political leadership in Qatar is mostly gone. Political leadership, according to what I looked this up, according to what I saw, like political in regards for the negotiation is still like pretty active. Militarily speaking, probably not, but they're still active in like Turkey, I think, and other places. That would be Hamas, by the way. Let's see. You should watch the Cult of Chabot video on stream. Maybe tomorrow. Not right now though. But yeah, there's someone actually did videos about Anthony Chabot, and I mentioned a couple times. It's weird. Let's see. Ahsoka here for 5. Thank you. Says, I believe the world made by the Demiurgy, and he's in control of heaven and hell too. It doesn't seem kind of weird if you have one entity that's in control of heaven and hell. It seems kind of odd to me personally. But thank you for that. H bars for 5. Ben Shapiro said you can't fundamentally have morals if you're not religious. What a tard. I mean, everything Ben Shapiro says only serves to make his wife drier. Does not work out. Yeah, very well at all. He's such an idiot. He's getting so much like he's losing. I don't think Ben Shapiro is going to be on the air. Maybe like give it another year is basically what I'm saying. I really don't think he's going to be around much longer. It just doesn't make any sense. He's just bleeding his audience, fighting Matt Walsh. Matt Walsh is the true believer. Matt Walsh will probably leave Daily Wire and do his own thing, which will split the audience and then ultimately will hurt Ben Shapiro. And I'm not against that necessarily. I want to see them fight. But Ben Shapiro will be losing allies left and right. Let's see. H. Parcier says Matt Walsh is insufferable, miserable human. Oh, he is. Yeah, he's absolutely insufferable. And people are calling him Mundane Matt now. Did you know that? That to me is pretty funny. I thought that was pretty entertaining, to be fair. Thank you for that. Also, H Bar says, is the bound to become a democratic socialist, even if not our lifetime? Are we bound to become Democrat socialists? I don't know what you mean by that. I don't think Democrat socialism it's having some trouble because they need a charismatic leader enough to sell the talking points. And a lot of the people that go on the media are not media trained or media prepared, and they come across like lunatics, and so that's kind of a problem. You need to breach the mainstream. You breach the mainstream by largely being as centered as possible, while heavily leaning towards certain ideals that can be then, formed at, or I guess pushed for at a later date. I don't know what's going to happen with any of that though. I don't know. Well, I will say this: once the boomers die in the next 15 to 20 years, and we have the Gen Xers and the elder millennials and the Zoomers and everybody else, we will see a political reawakening in this country once the last vestibules of power from that particular group are gone. And that is an inevitability, right? Like younger people these days are not joining conservative culture. Online, it appears like there's this massive movement of conservative Christians. Religion is dying, not dying, but diminishing. The biggest religion in the world is growing is Islam, and that's largely through birth rates in this country are slowing down a little bit. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like it's not. But what I find to be kind of crazy is that 2 of the most prominent progressive politicians are both Muslim. That to me is really fascinating. I'm not too sure, just based upon my disdain of radical Islam, and because I don't like any religion. I don't know how I feel about that. I think both Zoran Mandami and this other guy at Michigan, they seem very nice, and they seem very very determined to do right by people, and I like that. So I don't know though where things are going to go. Ahsoka here for 5. Thank you. Says, I really think both of you should read about Gnosticism. It's really interesting to me. It makes sense. I'll have to take a look into that right there. Thank you. H Warts for 5. Diseases take time to understand. Smallpox took thousands of years to understand. And guess what? Vaccine literally got rid of it completely by the 70s. I mean, look at smallpox. Polio was another one. These things do take time. That was probably one of the biggest concerns out of Operation Warp Speed. And then, of course, the whole I had a passenger the other night that was talking about how COVID killed people. And and then is this the whole thing, and I don't know, I kind of maybe bit back a bit more on that than I should have, but it was fine. We agreed to disagree. H Bart's here for tenor. Thank you. Did you know Karl Marx's version of communism believed in having armed citizens, but no communist government let their people have guns? They bent it to their ideas. Yeah, it's something where you have to ask yourself if the power of the people in these particular situations removes the ability to protect oneself or to fight back against a tyrannical government, then maybe that's not the best idea. I mean, for all of our flaws as a country, we still have that freedom, which is good, but thank you. I blame Jarbo for everything currently going on. I do think that is a fair assessment. Yeah, I know. Right. Goddamn Gamergate, son of a bitch. And then Soka here for 2. Thank you. Says DSP is great, Chris. I don't know if I'd say DSP is great. Perhaps let's not do that. Perhaps let's not, perhaps let's not push for DSP. I think that's an okay thing. All right. Okay. I tell you what, here's the thing. I gotta go because I gotta go get this thing with the kid. I'll be on tomorrow night. I'm gonna stream more on this channel. Like I said at the beginning, I got to get those hours up. So I'll be streaming more over here. We'll be on tomorrow night for a little bit. Hey, what's up, JM? Yeah, he came in just at the very end too. We'll do some more like AI shit. There's some shit I want to show you guys. It's wild as fuck. And then like maybe some weird news or something. But it's always good having Chris on. Maybe we'll get Saggy on and we can just have a really crazy conversation. But I will talk to you guys later. Thank you again. Have yourself a great night. And
turn off that pesky ad block.